I need a therapist. Shit.
Okay, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to What She Said Sports. All right, so before I went live, I was so engrossed in the crime scene footage from Shedeur Sanders' house and making the check-in chart for 16 to 32 that I had to get right to it. So I wasn't expecting to see the crime footage. I've learned some details about it. I want to share it with y'all. I did put together the 16 to 32 to see where everybody is. And had some footage of Geno Smith basically telling people he's sick of them. Rightfully so, because they trying to bitch him. Coach Prime. Okay, so I posted on the community. I posted, let me know if things get a little splotchy. I'm trying to try to hear myself. I guess when the internet get weird, it gets a little dicey. So I'm trying to hear myself, and y'all can also let me know in the comments. All right. Coach Prime had a press conference today. And in the press conference, he was pretty much saying, I know I'm the guy. Give me time to, show you this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, why does Coach Prime sound like they gave him a 2-week notice to vacate his office if he don't win these last 2 games? And the person that posted it said they didn't look at it like that. They looked at it as he's just trying to convince the media. And normally Coach Prime not trying to convince the media of anything. But you can't ignore the fact that they have a new athletic director. And we talked about the possibility of when Rick George leaves, Coach Prime is no longer safe. And as you can see, they move Rick George right on out the way to some kind of just, job, just something to do at the end of the school year, which coincides with, the end of the season, right? So they got 2 games left. It's November. Rick George changes positions at the end of the school semester, which is about December 19th for the students. So somewhere before New Year's Eve, somewhere before Christmas, right? Because the universities are closed over the holidays. So y'all let me know your thoughts, because I thought it was weird. I was like, I've never heard Coach Prime in that type of position basically saying, just give me time. I know I'm the one for change. I'm the one built for adversity. I'm shocked, because normally that's not his demeanor with the media. Normally he's just bam, 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 facts. And, I'm sure of whatever I said, this, that, and the other. And it's a different tune. It's a different tune. It's like, somebody that started a job had a meeting with him and say, look, we're going to be making some changes. And, we feel like we want to know if you're the guy. So we're going to look at these last 2 games to determine if you're the guy. That's what it's given to me. So y'all tell me in the comments what you think if you've already seen it. I think I have it saved up to look at it. But that was the first thing that I had to add to the list of the unexpected things to talk about. Let's do the check-in, and then we're going to get to Shedeur's crime scene, and we're going to talk about what they took and what people are saying, and why you have to be a little street smart in this situation. All right, so let me get into the check-in real fast since I had that on there. All right. Okay, so this is the check-in for 16 to 32. I think I managed to do everybody, but for the most part. So I think I touched on everybody. So Caleb Williams is in first place, and so is over here to the right, Jalen Hurts in the turquoise. So 7-3 in first place for Caleb Williams. It started off slow, so this is good for him. I told you they paid his backup $10 million. He head coach, a new O-line, because he was essentially in the same situation as Justin Fields, but things have turned around, and they've won the last 3 or the last 4 games. So shout out to Caleb Williams being in first place in his division. Jalen Hurts going back to the Super Bowl, possibly 8-2, which is better than 7-3. I know they're in different divisions. I'm aware. I'm just looking at the 16 to 32 to see who's at the top. And it is the Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts. All right. Next, we had Bryce Young, 6-5. Panthers started out weird and have started to find their way. They're a little bit above 500 in second place. Dak Prescott, I think they beat the Raiders. 4-5, not good. They're under 500. They're in second place and they're under 500, unless I got that wrong. But I think it was right. I'm not sure, but I think it was right. Yeah, because they got the Commanders and the Giants. The whole damn division is trash, basically, except for the Eagles. Then you got Jordan Love. The people they say they were going to the Super Bowl 6-3. Y'all know they got a tie game out there too. That's going to probably come in and change things for them. So he's in second place. And then Michael Penix Jr. is in third place. They trying to get rid of him and his head coach, who protested the caller, the officiating in the Panthers game. 3-7, they in third place. And then in yellow, Geno Smith, who the Browns are getting ready to face. People are excited, anticipating that Shedeur is going to get the nod. I'm like, I'm not getting excited until I hear he got first team reps. Early today, I talked about Stefanski, talking about these mental reps. I meant physical first team reps with the O-line to get the snap count together and with the wide receivers or whoever that's going to be. So Geno Smith is in yellow because they're trying to bench him. They're trying to see if they're going to put in Kenny. That could help Dylan out a lot. Okay, so he's dead last, and they trying to bench him. If it's in yellow, they trying to bench him. Cam Ward, I don't know if they got nobody to bench him with because Will Levis was injured unless he's back. Even though they paid him $48 million, they insist he's going to be like Josh Rosen, in and out for 4 years flat, get the money and go. I don't think that's the case because Cam loves to play the game. So I hate that he's 1-9, and I'm telling y'all, as Shedeur Sanders fans, Team Shedeur, we need to be thanking our lucky stars that this is not Shedeur because it very well could have been in Cleveland or in Tennessee or any other team he went to. They are not trying to help this young man when they're trying to prove he should have never been drafted first. Mind you, nobody talked about him for 89 to 95% of the draft. But suddenly, he was a first-round pick above Shedeur, and now they trying to knock him off his pedestal. Okay, C.J. Stroud, 5-5. I don't know how long he going to make it in this league because they keep knocking him down. 5-5, right at 500. Has a black head coach. They're in third. Jada Daniels, y'all know he injured. They're in third. Mariota, who used to play for Falcons, Marcus Mariota, 3-8. 3-8. They keep praising him, but they 3-8. Lamar Jackson just made it to 500, 5-5, second place behind the Steelers. And y'all know the Browns and the Bengals, they not really going nowhere. So Lamar got a shot to get out of here. But he got to get past, I think, the 6-4 Steelers or something like that. And then Spencer Rattler. If it's in red, it don't matter what he is because he's been benched. I hate that, but that's what it is. They wanted Tyler Shaw anyway. They was just waiting for the opportunity, and I don't think they supported Spencer Rattler because they wanted Nussmeier's son. And when they realized Nussmeier's son probably not coming out first round or first, so they could grab him, they like, you know what, just put Tyler Shaw back in. And plus, Dylan's still over there. So, just put Tyler Shaw back in. Hell, nobody fired from the Browns, and they got Dylan out there. So, unfortunately, Spencer Rattler has been benched, but I hope he had fun while it lasts. They're probably going to trade him or keep him at the back of the depth chart because he's actually really good. Jalen Hurts, 8-2. We talked about that. Then we had Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, 5-5. When it's the year of 17-32, with Shedeur being 17, and he this close to playing, it does not matter if your mother is white, if your father is black. Nobody cares in the NFL. It's like we are not having 17 black starting quarterbacks. So Pat Mahomes has to climb his way out of his division. As you can see, he's third. Surprising, isn't it? Then we have Russell Wilson. He's been benched. Jameis Winston is in. They lost. They are 2-9. And then I started to think. I said, "Oh, we giving the Giants a pass here." Everybody's questioning whether or not Dylan really got injured because nobody saw it. But they said Dart is concussed. But I don't know. I know he got hit, but that don't mean you got concussed because Cam Ward has been hit 38 times and has not been concussed. And when I was putting this together, and I said they last, and they last even without Winston playing for the first time last week. I said, if they were in a hurry to pull him out, regardless of what was really going on, because he's supposed to be their prodigy, he's supposed to be all of that, but they last, and he can't get it done without Scatterboo and Malik Neighbors. So and y'all know, tit for tat. They run in the same circle, the Browns and the Giants. I mean, I'm just telling you, it would not surprise me one bit if they were like, look, just take him out. Why? Because Shedeur finna get out here. If Shedeur's out here winning and he's out here losing, it brings back up the conversation from the draft. It will always be that. As long as the two of these people, these two are in the league, you should have never drafted Jackson Dart in front of Shedeur. But now with Dart on the sidelines, they can hypothesize and fantasize and relive any game that he was good in, whether Cam Scatterwood was a star or not. So I'm a little skeptical. I'm a little skeptical because I see what's going on in Cleveland. I never saw Dylan get hurt. In fact, I don't even know if Dylan's sacks made the highlights. Maybe they did. I know Shedeur's did. But you can't trust neither one of these ball clubs. Talking about Cleveland and the Giants. You can't trust the Saints either, and I'm from New Orleans. And Titans, sketchy as hell. The four of them. I have talked about the four of them, right? So let's get to the guys in the middle because I didn't do their win or loss, but I know what's going on. Justin Fields, no need to put in the win or loss. He's benched. Tyrod Taylor is starting. God bless him. And Kyler Murray has been benched and replaced with Jacoby Brissett. So it's amazing to listen to people talk about, man, Jacoby Brissett is good. I'm like, he was just a starting quarterback in 2024. In fact, he was number 15, like Shedeur was number 17. So he hit number 15, and somewhere along the way, they decided to bench him to make him not be 15 black starting quarterbacks. So let's look at where we are now. If I deduct from 16 of 32, if I deduct Justin Fields, Kyler Murray, that's 15, 14. Russell Wilson, 13. That's 13. So I got rid of 3, right? So I have a little breathing room. I could put Shedeur out here. I could let Shedeur play for the rest of the season. Don't be surprised if Stefanski just switches on a dime like we're gradually seeing him do. Because guess what? Now, at the time of the season when fans are buying season tickets, I can put Shedeur out here. I don't care about Dylan, no way. I can put Shedeur out here. I can sell season tickets for next year, and I can trade Shedeur. Because they know they can't bench him. Shout out to Skip Bayless. Shedeur looked like a franchise quarterback. Cleveland has its franchise quarterback. What? So now, after Cam Newton spoke up and told the truth from a player's perspective, now Shedeur is a franchise QB. Now Shedeur should play. Even Mary Cabin has changed her tune. She thinks that if Shedeur gets out there and plays well, she believes that he should continue on for the rest of the season. Don't be surprised if that was always the plan, because I said it. They're going to exploit him for $4 million. And that would mean that this whole bait and switch, this whole ruckus to devalue, scapegoating Coach Prime, putting Dylan out here, making it seem like this, that, and the other, when we knew Stefanski was really doing, Haslam was bidding, Haslam running out there with the 12 on. The fans boycotting. They didn't anticipate that. The fans boycotting. And we're going to roll with Shedeur and ball out for the rest of the season. And that's when Dylan going to find out that he was being used the whole time. And that's when a lot of people going to realize that when they targeted Shedeur Sanders, when he became number 1 in October of 2024, the Browns always knew it was going to play out like this. The only thing they didn't anticipate was his fan base showing up and holding them accountable. And other NFL fans for other teams standing up for Shedeur. They did not anticipate fans trying to boycott. I promise you. Bud Light did not like that. With that stadium sitting empty 30 minutes before the game, that was a lot. Because we're going to do with all this beer. We're going to lose money. Don't be surprised if the Kevin Stefanski gradually makes a turn or somebody overrule him. But here's my question. Is Shedeur getting first team reps? Because I have not heard that. People said he's the starter. I'm like, nope. I haven't heard it. When Kevin Stefanski was asked about first team reps, he was doing his word jargon. He threw a name out there so we can shut the hell up. But we not dumb. So we want to hear 100% confirm that Shedeur is getting first team reps with the wide receivers and them low fraud O-linemen on the right side. So the center has no excuse to blow his coverage with Shedeur. Notice only fans talked about that. Only fans talked about it. People like Chase Daniels and others that did analysis, they talked about the O-line not being good. That is an excuse to sabotage the quarterback of your choice. If their O-line was so trash, why didn't they get O-linemen in the draft? Because they knew what they was going to do. Stay tuned. So we have Geno Smith. Like I said, they probably got to bench him in this little circle right here. Of course, is Jalen Hurts #1 overall. Justin Fields, Kyler Murray benched. So as you can see, out of 16, only 2 of them are in first place. And is it 3? 1, 2, 3 have been benched. Shocking. The most shocking is Pat Mahomes. I knew what they was gonna do to Jada Daniels. Not surprised. Michael Peters Jr. They coming for him. They are coming for him. Him and his coach because they both black. Let's see what happens to Geno Smith after this game. Now, this game is just like the last game with the Ravens. The Ravens with Lamar back on the upswing, but a black quarterback versus a black quarterback. Something they don't want to see. I believe that that's why I'm starting to hear the push. I believe we're starting to hear the push for Kenny Pickett so Dylan can get out there. Stay tuned. Let me know your thoughts about this. Somebody asked me to do this. I said I would do it. I put the date on it on the file name. I'm probably going to add it on to the document so we can come back and follow up and see where everybody landed. We'll probably check back maybe a week or 2 before the season ends and then after do a postseason follow-up. So let me know your thoughts. Jalen Hurts and Caleb are the front runners right now. And like I say, the most surprising, is Pat Mahomes. That's the most surprising. But that should tell you everything you need to know about 17-32. One drop is all it takes. All right. So let's get into this crime scene footage because burglary is a crime. So let's get into this. Now, I will tell you that I didn't study this video, but I'm going to tell you my take on it. And while you're watching it, I want you to tell me your take on it. Okay. I want you to do that. Give me a second because I actually have an actual video clip and I can also share my screen. Give me one second. Let me see if I can get that video up. If I could get the video up, we could go back and forth as much as we like. So while you're doing that, let me know what your thoughts. Are you surprised by anybody that was 16-32 that got benched, that's about to be benched, etc.? While I see if I can quickly get this video. If not, I won't worry about it. All right. All my files. All right, I'm not worried about it. I'll just find it and just use it later, post it later. Is this it right here? Oh, that's not it. Damn. On my own video. Let me see if I can do a search right fast. Shedeur. Good Lord, I have a lot of clips. Woof. No, okay, fine. I'll just share it because I don't see it. But anyway, okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, I wanted to use the clip that I made, but I just might have to get back to it at another time. Okay, here we go. I gotta make it larger because people like to cuss, and I don't know why people feel the need to cuss at every turn. Okay, so this is maybe this is my own video. Okay, hold on one second. This might be. No, this not mine. It's not mine. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna tell you what I see. Okay. Let me make sure y'all can see my screen. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I see. Okay, so this is Shedeur's house. This is a bedroom hallway perspective. So what you're seeing is a time photo wall art to the right, a window to the left. The burglars look like they're making it up the hallway to his bedroom. So there are 3 of them. They thought this through, put on masks, wore long sleeves so you could see whether they melanated or not, put on masks in the front like the Jason mask or some other kind of mask. So they're actually wanted to conceal every inch of their body so you couldn't tell what they were. Now, apparently on one local news report, They came in. I'm gonna let it play while I talk, and that way y'all could just watch it. People just, oh, okay. All right, so it's playing while I'm talking, and then I'm gonna go over what I've seen. Okay, so the three of them supposedly parked down at the end of the block. There was a car waiting for them, or they parked somebody's car at the end of the block and they walked to the house. Now, I don't know how many houses from the corner this house is, but I know somebody over there got a ring camera, right? So they probably on ring cam. They probably planned for that because, again, I think I could see somebody's wrist, but I'd have to go back and look at it again with like a high zoom resolution editor. But they really tried to conceal to make sure you didn't see any ounce of their body, no parts of their hair. You couldn't tell if they were boys or girls, right? People assume that they were boys, but it could be a girl. Parked at the end of the street, walked to the house, and supposedly the grimiest part, the part that I think is weird, is the back door was unlocked. So supposedly they walked in an unlocked door, which makes it seem like somebody in this young man's circle or that has worked for him left the door open, or they're trying to say he's careless and these three got lucky. There is no way in the hell, I believe, these three went to the door that was unlocked. So it muddies the water, and it makes him look at, it's supposed to make him look at the people around him. Here's my thing, right? How well did you know nobody would be at the house? Right? I want you to now I want you to pay attention to the guy in the back, okay? He's scary as hell. She, the last person, scary as hell. This one right here, the white, scary as hell. They got bags in their hands. So I don't know if when they came into the house, they went into maybe Miss Pilar's room and took her bags, or they had some bags in another room, because we don't know where they went before they got to this point. Now, the one in the back is scary. You could tell the way that person is moving, the way they creeping. You could kind of see that. So supposedly, an unlocked door, parked down the street, walked to the house, an unlocked door, grabbed bags, clothes, and sunglasses. So sounds like they knew to go to his bedroom. It could have been the video that Bucky filmed with Shedeur looking at all of the clothes in the cellophane bags that he had just gotten. I remember Shedeur in his closet. I remember him looking at some of his stuff. I could see all of his shoes. So it's like they went for that stuff. And that would lead you to believe that this is random. But the problem I have is the unlocked back door. I really do. Because here's the thing. If this is the trio that hit up Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes, and Joe Burrow, the last one wouldn't be as scary as he is. I'm just saying it. The last one wouldn't be scary. And if they were pros, I would think they would have moved with a swiftness through that house. These three walking through the house like they got time, like they creeping, like they don't know what room is what room. So here's my thing. If somebody left the door open for them, somebody could have told them, come upstairs, quickly go this way, turn left and go to the right and go straight to his closet and get the hell out of there. They were in the house for 12 minutes. 12 minutes. You comfortable in somebody's house for 12 minutes. You know they not coming back. You know they weren't there when you got there, and the door was unlocked. I'm not so quick to say this trio, with the last one being scary, is the same people that robbed Joe Burrow. I'm going to tell you this is a copycat. I'm going to tell you somebody trying to slide in on what happened to Burrows. Because why? I do believe Shedeur's truck still has Texas plates. Now, if he just recently got Ohio plates, somebody got access to the DMV. The last one is scary. I don't care what nobody say. This was his first time, and he ain't no regular thief. The first two, you tell me what you see with the first two. So they were there for 12 whole minutes. And I thought this house had a dog. They weren't worried about a dog. They weren't worried about somebody with a gun. They knew absolutely nobody would be there, not even the people that are with him. See how they was getting ready to run? You see how they was getting ready to run? So they guessed it. They guessed it. They don't know what's going on. So this will make you believe what? That they just lucked up. We gonna go rob Shedeur. And guess what? The house open. And we saw all that stuff he had on that video. That's what we looking for. We don't know if somebody here or not. So that means it's random. It's targeted, but it's random. In other words, it's not necessarily an inside job. Like I said, these three did not rob Travis Kelce. These three did not rob Pat Mahomes. These three did not rob Joe Burrows. The last one is too scary. The second one ain't too far off. The first one, unless he carried out all these other crimes by himself or with some different people, is the only one that don't seem to be worried about too much. And if he had been there before, he would know exactly what a bedroom was. They would have went in, they would have all ran upstairs or wherever the bedroom is, they would have ran down the hall. They wouldn't be creeping, they wouldn't be looking at rooms, they wouldn't think somebody finna pop out on them. And the door was unlocked. So they got lucky. All right, so let me see what y'all are saying about this because I'm curious to see what y'all are saying. Now, I will tell you this. There were a lot of people on the internet that said break-in sponsored by the Cleveland Browns. Now, the media wants to quickly go, just like they did on draft night. Oh, yeah, it was some kids pranking this person. And it was some kids pranking Mason Graham. It was not the same people. It was not the same people. It wasn't. And they lied about who it was. We had to see them expose themselves, which means they slow, right? So what y'all think? I asked this question on X. I said, all right, is this the inside job sponsored by the Cleveland Browns? Or is it just they saw the video and let's go rob Shedeur and oh, we got lucky, the back door was open. I'm very anxious to see what y'all are saying. So let me see. Let me see. Now, I will tell you this, as somebody that has lived in the suburbs for a long time, these kids, they do rob people. However, the ones that's on drugs, not to my white kids on drugs, break into garages, they break into cars, they might go rifle through the car and leave all the doors open. They don't typically break in the house. They do nuisance stuff like steal golf clubs, stuff like that, right? Because they on drugs, right? They live with their parents and stuff like that. Now, these three, that's not this case. This not just some random kids that live in a neighborhood and they just need some money and they decide to go rob Shedeur. No, these people sat down and had some masks and this, that, and the other. And I would think if you have bought all of this, you have done this before. But they're not pros. And the last one seemed new to the situation because he's scary as hell. You would think he wouldn't be scared if they had done this before. But I can tell you, they thought somebody was going to pop out on them. Either the dog or somebody else. The last one was scary. The second one was less scary, but he was scary nonetheless. The first one. Now, they thought they was being smart by parking their car at the end of the street, but all of these ring cams have a wide view. So if the house on the corner got a ring cam, it got the car. I don't know if Cleveland, Ohio has 2 license plates, like I think Texas does. But they had to walk to the house. So somebody had a ring cam. And somebody, at some point, you entered the neighborhood. You exited the neighborhood about a certain time. All of these neighborhoods have cameras that people don't know about. The freeway has cameras. In Atlanta, I watched them follow a car from Atlanta to Augusta with freeway cameras to track down a missing person because somebody stole their car. Now, if they say they don't know nothing, they lying. They are lying. Everybody over there probably got a ring cam except for Shedeur, which is kind of weird. But it's a rental house. Thankfully, there were cameras in the house. But you do need a ring cam. And honestly, Shedeur, until he finds out if this was an inside job or not, who gave out his information, how that back door got unlocked, unless he wasn't worried about it because they live where they live, because some people are like that. But Shedeur's so protective, I would think he would just leave a door open. And I don't see nobody in his circle doing nothing like that either, because they probably have access and he would give them whatever it is that they wanted. They wouldn't have to steal it. And the crazy part about it is they're going to try to boost this stuff. And somebody going to know where you get this from. It's going to come out. But if the police come back and say nobody had a ring cam, there were no cameras in the neighborhood on the entry to out, don't believe it. Don't believe it. Because I'm not sure the back door was unlocked. Because again, this is a rental house. If he has Texas plates, either somebody had already followed him to his house, somebody did work at his house, which is a huge possibility. But who left the back door open? All right, let's see what y'all saying. So $200,000 worth of sunglasses, bags. The bag's probably the most expensive thing. Clothes. You see, everybody had a bag, this kind of thing, right? It said word on these electronic streets is that Marshall Faulk is the next head coach of the Southern Jaguars and the SWAC. I like it. I like it. And I know why he would do it. Y'all know why Marshall Faulk would take a job as the next head coach of Southern University. Because it's not stable. We don't know how long Coach Prime going to be at CU. That's why. He just got to CU. Shout out to Marshall Faulk if that's actually the case. And I want you to pay attention to see where people that you normally see at CU, if they're elsewhere doing other things. When you be like, damn, I thought you'd be at CU. Yeah, pay attention to that. Because I promise you, the moment they're gone, they're going to clean house like that. And the people that's around going to start looking for other things or other opportunities going to start coming their way. Like Mama T. You know, the people y'all see on the sideline, the people y'all see filming this, that, and the other. They don't want Coach Prime's greatness. They didn't set him up for nothing. They set him up for this moment right here. So we'll see how long it lasts. But shout out to Marshall Faulk if it's true. A heads up, they have already moved Shedeur out of his house. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Because he lived there after that. Because somebody said it yesterday. Who breaks in and takes nothing? But see, here's the thing. I could have broke in and took some stuff, but I could have came to plant a camera. And you see they went to his bedroom. That's exactly what they did to Jay-Z and Beyonce at a hotel. Yeah, extortion. Extortion. So again, they made sure to cover up every ounce of skin. And I asked people, who y'all think it is? Who you do you think there's some YNs? So they moved Shedeur out of his house. I can sleep good tonight then. Good. Because you can't stay there after that. And there was somebody that said, what about the people he rented the house from? Would they set him up? I'm like, I mean, you would think no, because the money that he spends on rent got to be crazy because it looked like a nice area. And the news basically telling where he lived in Medina County in this township. I'm like, why are you telling people where he lived at? So I'm glad he moved. I'm glad he moved. I'm glad he moved. Shout out to Shedeur. See, he's smart. That's why I don't trust the back door. When they said that on the news, I'm like, how y'all know the back door was unlocked? They could be lying. Unless there's a camera pointed at the back door. They saw the first person with the flashlight, the most aggressive one, open the door and walk right in. That's the only way you know the door was unlocked. Unless there's an electronic lock and the analytics tell you the last time the door was unlocked or locked was at this time. And they walked in. That's why he moved. Uncertainty. Uncertainty. And if the same people still around him, they just talked about a rapper, Tekashi 6ix9ine. They did a home invasion and they accosted his mother. Yeah. His mother was at the house. They came to break in. They did an invasion, which means somebody's at the house. They didn't care. And they, you know, like held her hostage and tried to hurt her and stuff like that. So I don't want Miss Pilar there. So I'm glad they gone. Because that's the first person I thought about when I heard Tekashi 6ix9ine, and I heard that today. I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy. So just in case you heard, Tina say heads up, or is that Gail? That's Gail. Heads up. They already moved Shedeur out of his house. So we happy to hear that. Yeah, we're happy to hear that. Racism is real. Facts, 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 facts. And it's so funny how the media is so quick to say, yeah, this happened to so-and-so. And then they told the story about some lady, her and her husband was on TV somewhere else and they robbed her house. I said, here's the problem with that. How do you know nobody was at this house? How do you know nobody was at this house? But that's why Mariah Carey sold her house in Atlanta. She was on TV New Year's Eve. They hit her up and she said, I'm out. Now, whoever they were talking about today, it was a white couple, some lady that's on TV. I think Good Morning America was talking about, or Today's Show, one of those morning shows, you know, the national show was talking about what happened. And they say, yeah, so-and-so, this happened to her and her husband. I'm like, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't know. With all the people that be around Shedeur, cameramen, Florida, you got the dog, you got his mama, you got Bucky, because I thought Bucky was there. I did. I thought Bucky was there. All right, let's keep going through these comments. Hey there, everybody. Hey, Miss Pamela. It's the heads up. Coach Prime not leaving. Okay. All right. Well, we shall see. Because I don't trust that situation either. It's that good for Shedeur. The burglars look like the same people Jimmy Haslam hired to wear 12 jerseys. I thought it was funny because it was 3 of them. That is hilarious. You talking about the build and the frame. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. The crazy part is how many people, including, y'all know there's a podcast on Shannon Sharp Network, Debo and Joe. I don't know who they are, but I know they're athletes. But I noticed they on the Shannon Sharp. That's his platform that they're on, which is a great show. Debo said it. He said, now I'm not trying to start nothing, but is it possible? I said, see, this is how you know the Browns' reputation is trash. This is how you know the NFL reputation is trash. The Browns supposedly they have nothing to do with the prank. But you see how everybody going back to, did the Browns set up Shedeur? Because of the way Kevin Stefanski has treated Shedeur, the way the Browns have allowed Shedeur to be held back with Haslam leading the way. And there are going to be people that go to the picture with Haslam with the 3 kids behind him that are not his grandkids. And they're going to look at their frame, they're going to look at their build, they're going to look at their shoes. Because if you notice in the video, somebody zoomed in on the shoes. They're going to go back to that. And they're going to look and see if there's a match. And you'd be crazy not to do it. Shout out to Miss Pamela for that nugget. He said to stop all of these coaching rumors in college. He said that to stop all these coaching rumors in the college going on. Lane Ole Miss AD told him he got by Friday to let them know if he's leaving to LSU or Florida. It's the new college layout. It's the new college layout that, okay, understand this. Kim Mulkey from LSU was in an interview for her own team. Guess they was playing. She said, okay, I know what y'all want to know. If Lane Kiffin is here at LSU, I got news for you. He's in Gainesville. And I'm new to this side of the Mississippi. I said, Georgia? I'm like, why do you mean Gainesville, Georgia? Is there a school there? Somebody said, no. Gainesville, Florida. Oh, where the University of Florida is. I didn't know. So when you new to a different whole region, you know, you got to learn. Because I just heard Gainesville. There's Gainesville, Texas. There's Gainesville, Georgia. Now I know there's the Gainesville, Florida, and the University of Florida is there. So Kim Mulkey spilled the beans. He's in Florida. Earlier this week or last week, the private jet for the University of Florida landed at Atlanta's airport. I follow one of the channels. They you know how they be looking at the planes and stuff. They can identify all the planes by the tail number. And the colors matched. And they said apparently they were going to meet with Brent Key at Georgia Tech. So maybe they gave it up to Lane Kiffin. Now, understand this. They were supposed to be offering Lane Kiffin $81 million. And his son already said he ain't playing for his daddy. Lane Kiffin has 2 black quarterbacks. One of them, Trinidad Shambliss, who's good. How does this affect him if Lane Kiffin leave right now? You know Ole Miss is good because they want Lane Kiffin. So how does it affect his two black quarterbacks? Is he going to bring them with him? Can he do that? Is he only going to bring Trinidad? Where does this leave Trinidad Shambliss? He's a top 5, top 6. Is he the top 6 Heisman candidate or a top 6 draft pick? But he a top 6 something. And I say he probably top 5 because he's good. But if his coach just get up and leave for $81 million, that's disruptive. And would they do that to a Peyton Manning or a Jackson Dart in his NFL year? Would they do that to Haynes King in his NFL year? They would in about 2 more games because Haynes King is a senior. Let's see what happens there because very interesting, very interesting. It's that the media seems like they want whatever happened to Kevin Stefanski to happen to Coach Prime. They are suggesting the new AD fire him. Of course. That's why the new AD is there. Let's just be honest. Look at the track record of the black head coaches at Colorado. 136 years, 4. All since 2012. Long, 2 years, fired. Somebody else, 2 years, fired. Mel Tucker came in. There was a contract issue. They gave him 8 years, went back and changed it to 5 and 4. They were losing. He got an offer from Michigan State. They didn't owe him no money because he quit. Then he gets to Michigan State and he gets set up. Then there's coach. Then there was somebody else. I think somebody else that came in and was fired mid-season, and we didn't even know they were black until I did the research. I said, wait a minute, that coach they fired mid-season was black. Yep. So that coach didn't take them 1-11. They fired their coach somewhere in the middle. So they're not black head coach friendly. And if they threatening to fire Coach Prime with all of that money he brought in, with all that notoriety, with all the attendance up, the TV deals, and all of that, season tickets sold out 3 in a row, if they even considering it, it's because he's black and they're going to do to him what they did to the rest of the black head coaches, which is probably why Mel Tucker got the hell out of there, because he knew they were setting him up. Just like the other black coaches, and one of them went 4-8. Don't be surprised if Pat Schumer don't go nowhere, because I don't know why he still got to come to work. I would want him nowhere around my program at all. We're going to see. And you can't believe nothing about what they going to do or what they not going to do, because the whole purpose is to embarrass Coach Prime, so they're not going to let on. Cruelty is the point. And you believe there are a lot of people sitting on the edge of their seat. There were people that when the first head coach got fired from UCLA, they knew, oh, they're going to get Coach Prime, because he's not even alum. Like the first black guy at Colorado, or like the black head coach, Deshaun Foster at UCLA. Don't believe nothing, because the whole point of it is to be a surprise. It said Miss Pamela sure did. It said they don't need to give anyone his address. Sorry, friends and teammates. Yeah, you can't trust it. You can't trust that situation, because it's too many people that believe Cleveland has something to do with it. I'm like, only so many people have access. And I don't know how he feel, because first y'all gave out my phone number and lied and said it was somebody else. How do I know you didn't do this? And now Stefanski, oh yeah, Shedeur is this. I'm like, oh, you can say his name today after his house get robbed. Oh, okay. But you want to talk about mental reps instead of committing to telling us that he's getting physical reps. So you're still on that BS. So maybe you did have something to do with it. Maybe it was somebody from Cleveland. Maybe it was the little 3 kids behind Haslam. So that what? He will be intimidated. He will move and he will run off. And he will be uncomfortable. And when he's snapping the ball, he'd be thinking more about if somebody breaking into his house. They know what to do to make you uncomfortable. It's not new. Somebody breaking into your house rattles you and you never feel safe again. That's why he moved. Plus, he also don't know how they got his information. I bet if you go to the cell phone store, it's not his real address on there. If them cars are still registered to Texas, they didn't get it from there. He got to get paid by the Browns. They normally need an address, or do they just need a bank account? HR got your address. I'm just going to leave it right there, especially if he still got a Mississippi driver's license. And that's why he has a Mississippi driver's license. So I'm glad he moved. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It said, did you see them celebrating because somebody flipped from CU to Florida? I hope Juju doesn't follow that means. Let me tell you what's going to be the deciding factor for Juju and his family. Not Juju, but his family. Because Juju just posted about Coach Prime. He posted, thank God, hashtag Coach Prime. It was a picture. I have it to show to y'all. It was a picture of Coach Prime leaning over, giving him some instruction, talking to him during a game. So Juju's letting it not be known that he's not going anywhere. And I'm just going to tell you like this. Juju's young, right? If he gets sacked 7 more times in this game and 7 more times in the next game, and while Pat Schumer might not be calling the plays, isn't Livingston still the defensive coordinator, and he let teams rout Colorado for 400 yards, 52 points, 2 games back to back? What's to stop him from doing the same thing with the last 2? The goal is to make Coach Prime look like he don't know what he's doing, which is why he was saying, I'm the person that can turn this around. Give me some time. I'm like, did somebody tell you the 2 games and that's it? Figure it out? They don't want Coach Prime in the Power 5, never did. Set up from game 3 all the way. Shedeur was the miracle worker. So possibly Shedeur can work a miracle to overcome 55 and 77, because I know he know what time it is, because y'all know he watch film. So let me find this to show y'all. Here it is right here. So this is Juju who posted this from his own page. He's saying he's committed to Coach Prime, but the problem is too many of them are not. Honestly, they're not. And the biggest one, the biggest fish, will probably be Jordan Seaton. Omarion, this was his last year. So he hit his 1,000 yards, didn't he? Isn't he a 1,000-yard receiver? So he good to go. He don't even have to play the last 2 games. And hell, he probably shouldn't, so he don't get hurt. Hell, let somebody else who's gonna be back next year, Gibson, get the time. This to Juju, he's saying, trust God, hashtag keep working. Colorado CU Buffs football, Shedeur Sanders, right? And there are people that know what they're gonna do with Coach Prime. They just not gonna say nothing because they want him to be caught off guard. That's the whole point. They want him to have a false sense of confidence and be lured in, just like at Super Bowl weekend, just like at the draft. Because if Tony Gross is right, if Coach Prime actually did call Haslam, he really didn't know what was going on. He called the one that set up his son. And if that took place and Haslam said, he wasn't my pick, knowing he had talked to Coach Prime and Coach Prime had called him, yeah. That tells you how they feel about him. Ashton Jeanty is ready to get the hell out of Vegas. 6 carries and 7 yards. I told y'all they drafted Ashton Jeanty, who's a running back, which they don't value. In the first round, they don't value them. So that what? Vegas could say, we don't need a quarterback. And they didn't. They got Geno Smith from Seattle that was booted out of there to block Shedeur. And now Shedeur is supposed to be coming to town. Interesting. All right, Geno Smith, sick of the shenanigans. Take a listen to this. This was hilarious.
I keep saying this, man. If something don't look right out there, blame it on me, right? If it don't look right, blame it on me. That's all you can do. Blame it on me. If your kids mess up at school, blame it on me. If car break down going to work, blame it on me. I keep saying this, man. If something don't look right out there,
he say if your kids mess up at school, blame it on me. If your car break down, shit, just blame it on me. Just blame everything on me. In other words, y'all just blaming everything on me. And that's what it is. And that's why they sent him there. So he could get the blame and he could get booted out. And they blocked him so they didn't have to get a quarterback. Oh, I already got a quarterback. Then they messed it over Ashton Jeanty, which meant they paid him to just block Shedeur. It's a whole lot of blocking of Shedeur happening around here. I want people to understand. It was a lot of quarterbacks on the move. When Dallas got Joe Milton from behind Drake May, and he got the same contract as Shedeur, I said, that is never off the table for Shedeur to be devalued and sent to Dallas for the same money as Joe Milton. Never off the table. Never off the table. And now that people are starting to say he's a franchise QB, let's see if Cleveland set all of this up to exploit it, bait and switch at $46 million, knowing I'm going to get you for $4. And I'm going to blame it on your daddy so people won't know what we're doing. Racketeering. So Geno Smith, he done had it. He's sick of it. He's sick of it. And somebody said, I know Kevin Stefanski set Shedeur house up, but I can't prove it. I told you people believe he did. People believe Kevin Stefanski sent them 3 look like kids. Sent them 3 kids over there to rob Shedeur so he'll run off. That's what people think. I'm telling you, that's what they think. Somebody, I know Kevin Stefanski set him up. I just don't know how to prove it. That is hilarious. And then this is right here talking about Shedeur's house, the surveillance and the stuff that they stole. You know, now this is Coach Prime. Let's listen to this.
Any plans to go to Vegas to see a certain Browns quarterback on Sunday?
Don't know. Haven't made that decision as of yet. I'm so focused on what we have at hand. I'm not thinking about that. Although I just got off the phone with him a minute ago, but I'm really focused on what we have at hand.
Any plans?
So here's my question to y'all, and y'all can tell me yes, he should go. Yes, Vegas. No, Colorado. Okay, that's your replies. Yes, Vegas. No, Colorado. Should Coach Prime go to Vegas for Shedeur's game this weekend? I'm going to say yes. You know why? Yes, Vegas. You know why? Because when you damned if you do, and you damned if you don't, and they already know what they're going to do, go support your son. Go support your son. Somebody wanted me to watch their video. I told them I'd try to get to it this week. One of the tenets of their video was Coach Prime should take the time to go be with Shedeur. Because even adult kids like, I'm good, I'm fine, but they really be happy. So do y'all believe that Coach Prime should go see Shedeur, knowing Colorado's game is Saturday? Vegas is a few hours away by plane. If that, it might not even be that far. I don't know. I think it's a couple of hours, right? And it's Sunday. He don't have to run the practice. The end of the game is what it is. Go watch your son play. You ain't got to tell the media you're there. Let them know when it's over with. Or never let them know, but they're going to know. So let me know. Yes, Vegas, no, Colorado, or whatever. Just let me know if the no is about him staying behind at the school. All right. So let's see. Was that it? That might have been it. That might have been it. It says Stefanski gonna ruin this Vegas game, and it will be pure cinema for the haters. Right. So we're gonna leave it right there. Okay. So we getting into the game that's coming up a little bit. I gotta do some looking. I think the Raiders just lost to the Cowboys. They dead last. It's the easy lay, basically. It's the easy pick. And Shedeur could go in here with first team reps if 577 don't sell him out. If the O-line work to protect their quarterback and actually play like they want to win the game and not set him up. If he had first team reps to get the chemistry with the receiver, or if they decided to go find a park or Shedeur's backyard before he moved to throw the ball around. Because that's what you do, right? After that last game, if I'm a receiver, because everybody's so excited about that perfectly thrown ball to Gage, they want to see more. That's why they're saying he's a franchise QB, because he did the most, again, with less. And that's been Shedeur the whole way through. He had the less reps, but he still was the most accurate. He was set up by his own O-line on camera, 55-77. But he still managed to make some hellified completions. He already, in one game, in one half of a game, had the longest pass of the season. If that ball with Gage had connected, it would be bedlam around there. But it wasn't supposed to be like that. Gage got to realize you can't break your fall, boo. This the pros. You got to just hit the ground. Jerry Jeudy and Shedeur got to connect, because Jeudy stopped at his route. And I don't think he did it to Shedeur on purpose. I think he don't know that Shedeur opens or throws his receivers open. Gage does. the pass to Isaiah Bond that people tried to talk about, that conversation got drowned out by the beautifully thrown professional pass from Shedeur to Gage. But it's crazy how they really tried to go in, but people again showed up for Shedeur. He should feel loved, even though they showing him hate. Because he got millions of people out here going toe-to-toe with a bunch of haters, regardless of their reason for hating, because some people just miserable. Stefanski is the one that looks bad, not Shedeur. Stefanski's reputation is trash. Somebody said he probably can't get another job in the NFL. I'm like, to do what? He's not a coach. He's a nuisance to disrupt the careers of Black players and Black quarterbacks. He thinks this is the movie Roots. And Shedeur Sanders is Kunta Kinte. That's what he thinks. That's why they try to break it. That's Kevin Stefanski's role. Understand that. Gage gonna get it next time. He just gonna fall on the ground. Shedeur need to give him give him a link to Travis Hunter highlights. Because we know Travis fell on his side. Travis, he gonna catch that ball. And there was even a ball he didn't catch. And Shedeur was like, you need to catch these. When people get timid around Shedeur or uncertain, you see a leader in that young man that's like leading his troops into war. I didn't even know in the Baylor game, LaJonte had a drop, but then he was the final recipient of the Hail Mary pass. So Shedeur don't give up on his receivers. So Gage gonna be out there. I was surprised he was out there, to be honest. So I don't know if Tommy Reese what side his bread is buttered on, but Shedeur does have a sleeve. So I think he pretty much called the Hail Mary. I think he the one sent Gage out there. But I love how he spread around the ball to Isaiah Bond, to Jerry Jeudy, to Harold Fanning Jr., to Gage. I might be missing somebody. Oh, there was another wide receiver, a tight end too. He spread that ball around like he had 5 receivers from Colorado out there. Yep. All right, so I'm reading y'all's comments, y'all, because I like to know what y'all think about these things. Whether it's the break-in, if you think that it was random, and they got lucky and the back door was open, or that's a lie. Or if you believe that it was an inside job and the Cleveland Browns had something to do with it, just like the NFL and the New York Giants tried to humiliate Shedeur, except for this time we don't want to humiliate you. We want to disrupt you. We want to intimidate you. We want you to be scared. We want you to be shaken. We want you to leave because he is close to starting. And Kevin Stefanski, I have not heard him say Shedeur has gotten first team reps. So that tell you they still on that BS3. Talking about some mental reps. Oh, and Miss Texas said, when I heard him say mental reps, I said WTF, right? You know what? I can't stand him. I could not ever run at him to Costco. I swear, it's going to be so hard to not run that damn shopping cart across his foot. I swear it is. And I know y'all like, what? Believe me, that's just what I want to say. Because you don't ever tell people what you do. I'm just saying, bro. Like, boy, I feel like a auntie for real. Boy, you messing with my nephew, boy. I box up on you, like, for real. Like, I can't stand him, bro. Like, I hate people like that, right? Because I see some people just miserable, but Stefanski's evil. And he was put there to be evil. And I think I'm perturbed because I know he's trying to destroy a 23-year-old Black man and disrupt him from his greatness, that guide, the path he put him on. And that's what keeps me sane. That's what keeps me sane, because I know it's God. I know that's how Shedeur got there. I know Shedeur going to Cleveland was all God exposing Cleveland for the bait and switch for Shedeur. That's why they want him gone, because they're being exposed. I know there was a conversation. That's why I didn't want him here in the first place. One thing about committing crimes with multiple people, somebody gonna get somebody roped up. And it's Stefanski, because he's still on that BS and he faint. Shedeur is ready. Oh, now he's ready after he get robbed. Okay. Remember, what happened to Michael Jordan's father was not random. Remember that. It wasn't random. These kind of crimes are always committed by people, you know. If you watch the news and you hear about a home invasion, they know what's in there. They know what's in there, and they trying to do what they trying to do to the people that's in there too. So they don't probably even know that many people in Cleveland. Maybe he had work done at the house, or maybe it was the baby. Because suddenly Shedeur is ready. I'm like, but mental reps, get the hell out of here. That tells you how the NFL is going to do everything possible to keep him from QB1. And I said to y'all before he got robbed, what extremes will they go through to keep him from QB1? Sunday is still a few days away. Let's see what they do. If I'm Dylan, y'all not gonna throw me out here. Not if I had a concussion for real. But people don't believe that either. So that means they're willing to lie and cover their tracks. It's too late for that. Everybody knows. It's too many people that know. It's that your employer has your address. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And that is a rental house. That is a rental house. And Hanson did have 3 kids that are behind him there, but not his grandkids. What did I tell y'all? I said, it's crazy how the news ran, the media ran with that's his grandkids. That ain't his damn grandkids. You can look up the internet and see his whole family. That's not his grandkids. But it was 3 of them, wasn't it? It was 3 of them. It was 3 of them. That's a hell of a coincidence, ain't it? I'm just saying. I mean, we don't know who it is. All you gotta do is look at their shoes, because criminals are dumb. They probably got on the same shoes because they want the flex, but wait till they pop out with Shedeur stuff on. That's gonna be the crazy part. Or they get a little bag to their girlfriend. Yep. It's that Shedeur need a bodyguard. Yeah, totally agree. Mental reps. Yeah, he needs to mental rep himself out of that head coaching position. I totally agree. It said Coach Prime will not get fired. He means too much to Colorado financially, and they couldn't find anyone to fill Coach Prime's shoes. Okay, Julia Johnson Law. Black people underestimate Jim Crow and how far they are willing to go. If he get fired, it proves my theory that they went and got him from Jackson State to disrupt what he was doing over there and for HBCUs, knowing he was coming to Colorado temporarily, because he is currently being treated like every other Black head coach that they have had, and it's only like 4. He's the 4th, I do believe. And y'all didn't know that the one that went 1-11, didn't really go 1-11 and got fired mid-season was Black. It's funny how we didn't know that. That would have been helpful. That would have been helpful. And it would have been helpful to have the history, and it was publicly available, but it would have been helpful to take that into consideration. So basically, all they did, if they fire him, is trick him out of his job at Jackson State. They kept Shedeur off the stage. He didn't get the Heisman. I know they dangled that carrot in his face. Yes, he will get the money, just like Cam Ward. But what happens to your career? What happens to your reputation? Now you have to overcome that. And if nobody is knocking on the door to hire him for his prime effect, it's collusion. And they just wanted to disrupt what was going on at the HBCU world, because he was flipping targets like Travis. That's what they was afraid of. I heard a story, a guy on a podcast, I think I have it. I said I was going to try to share it with some HBCU podcast was saying how they treat the HBCUs like a plantation. The HBCUs work themselves, the recruiters work like dogs to find talent that nobody else wants. Then they bring the talent to the school and develop it, and the PWIs come and take it with NIL. And they got to keep recycling and recycling and recycling players. So it's kind of like being on a plantation, and then people hearing that you got this one field hand that will be out here and never get tired and this, that, and the other, and don't cause no problems. And somebody done trained them up and they got them all strong, and you can do whatever you want to do to them, and you just throw them something and they'll go with you. That's what it is. Buy low, sell high. So they let the HBCUs develop the talent. Then they come take it, because the schools can't compete with all of the resources the other schools have. So that's another way that PWIs destroy HBCUs, is they come take the talent. So when Coach Prime took talent from the PWIs, they all set up straight and decided who gonna get Prime from over there. And it was Colorado. That's my theory. Let's see what happens. Let's see if they give him a real opportunity. Because the only time I saw a real opportunity is when they went 3-0. Because the way they treated Shedeur in that last game, that Alamo Bowl, that I drove 17 hours for, whoo, and that was one direction. They tried to punish him. And understand, even though Shedeur overcame, Pat Schumer was the OC. And he shouldn't be there. He should have been fired already. What's the point of saving his reputation? Or maybe Coach Prime can't fire him. And that means he might be there and Coach Prime might not. We gonna see. Because they didn't get a new athletic director for nothing. People saying, what's his name was gonna step down? I'm like, yeah, at the end of 2026, not the end of 2025. So they could have brought somebody in the spring and gave them 6 months before he left, not a whole damn year. You don't need a whole year. That's malarkey. You don't need a whole year. So y'all know my theory. We're gonna see what happens. I'm not wishing it. In my heart, I really want this to be finally he gets a fair chance, but that should have been year 3. And they dogged him out. And Marshall Faulk leaving because he's not crazy. It said, plus he won't know what they put in his house. Right. It said, I move into a secure concierge with a doorman condo. Would have been in one from the giddy up. Here's the thing. I don't care where he live at. He needs 24/7 by the door. At the house. When he at the game, somebody at the house. Honestly, you have to do that. You're a target by your own job. And you don't know if somebody in your circle, which is tight, set you up or not, because how the hell was the door unlocked? Would I have moved if I had left the door open? No. But I would move if I know they lying. I would move if the NFL set me up before. And Shedeur know better about what's going on in Cleveland than we do. And you know it's bad because look at what we can see from the outside looking in. I can't imagine what it's actually like on the ground. That's why I know the place is toxic. I would give them a P.O. box address and have someone responsible for picking up my mail. Facts, because he got to protect himself. Both that OC and DC need to go. I totally agree. But the DC's contract, see, that's another thing. Shout out to Tina for sending me Livingston's contract. His contract goes through the end of next year. He gets the bonus of $100,000 if he's still at CU in September. Don't be surprised. If not, these next 2 games, 3 games into next year, understand they never wanted him there. And for people to agree to it and shut up and not give the school money, they knew it was temporary. Because watch what happened when he's gone. And watch how long it's going to be like that. That's a lesson. That's a lesson. Coach Prime got to leave them NFL folks alone. He does. He have to leave them NFL folks alone. They don't mean him no good. Hey, Turner, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, that is a good idea. The post office box. So Kanissa said, I would give them a P.O. box address and have someone. That's it. You got to keep yourself. You know, you got to live rich. And here's the thing. That's what they don't want him to do. If you notice, they were basically trying to bully Shedeur because he's a celebrity. So what does Shedeur do when you see him walking through the tunnel after they cut Tony? He ain't wearing no drip. He just wearing sweats, a hat, and a shirt. They trying to break him. They trying to make him say his name is Toby. They trying to make him hide his wealth because they're jealous. One of the things I've noticed about the NFL, they don't want these players to live rich. Just like Kenny Ward. Look at how they beat up on him and they paid him $48 million. Well, I ain't got to let you enjoy it. That's how they act. Yeah, I got to pay you, but I ain't got to let you enjoy it. And because I had to give you $48 million guaranteed, they beating up on it. I don't know how many times he's been sacked, but last time I checked, it was 38. Then look at Travis. Shedeur not getting that $46 million contract might be actually saving his damn life. Because if you look at Travis and how pissed they are that he got his $30 million, That's what they mad about. Everybody said it. Why y'all not playing him? Coach Prime said they're underutilizing him. They know. I said it. The moment he got his money, they start acting funny. Because he asked for it. And they were stonewalling him. And he went fishing with Coach Prime. And he got his money. And they've been underutilizing him ever since. And now he hurt at practice, non-contact. Don't know how that happened. And they said he was fleeced. And I want all Black NFL players to understand something. And the right one too. The guy that we talked about earlier today, that was the traded from the Cardinals to Seattle, Sweeney or something like that. When he was at his first team, well, it was the Cardinals, I think, they were giving him 16 to 20 Advil, the team doctor, daily. It killed his kidneys. Of course it did. Creatine overdose. He sued. He died. I don't know if he ever lived for the lawsuit to play out. I was about to cuss. How's a doctor? Everybody know you can't take ibuprofen long term. How's the team doctor give a football player 16 to 20 Advil a day for pain? Why didn't they give him an injection? But that's what they did to Tyrod Taylor. Unless he said he didn't want one. But you probably could take 16 to 20 Tylenol a day. Maybe. I don't even know. But I don't think you could take 16 to 20 anything a day, not even gummy bears, without having some negative effect on your body. And it killed his kidneys. He turned around and sued. And he died. Everybody should be talking about that. Because he was Black. And to me, if he was white, it would have never happened. I don't think if Tyrod Taylor was white, that they would have punctured his lung because for pain. So I was like, Shedeur, don't let them people give you nothing for pain because you ain't gonna never be the same. I'm serious about that. It's not a coincidence he ran into Tyrod Taylor. And look at how they set him up against the Ravens. If Shedeur get injured, he better go find him a private doctor that don't none of them know, fly him in from Texas. Get Lauren up there, do something. But 16 to 20 Advil from the team doctor a day. So you was trying to kill him because as the doctor, you know what ibuprofen does to the body. Long term, if you take 2, but 16 to 20 a day for pain. These Black players, y'all got to do better. If y'all gonna be here, you got to do better. It said both that OC and DC need to go. Facts, totally agree. Totally agree. It said Debo was an undrafted free agent linebacker for the Steelers, 5 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowls. Joe is a 3-time Pro Bowler who played cornerback for the Browns. The Browns and the Steelers. Okay. Thank you, Bridget. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a good show. I like their chemistry. I like their chemistry a lot. It said, I don't understand. Put their trust in these people. I don't know. I think because it's their coworkers. I don't know. I mean, honestly, let's think about ourselves, okay? I don't get down like that at the job. I don't even think if you're Black, you need to be doing that. I don't care where you work. I think if you're the only Black person, I just talk about the weather. Ask them how their kids doing, but don't ever talk about yours. Because the moment you say I got 2 kids in college, and then they like, oh, we're and you say I went water skiing, or you say I went parasailing, they start adding in their head. How much she make? That ain't none of your business. But they know because everybody got levels, right? And they get jealous. That's just what it is. They jealous of Shedeur. Even though they didn't work for what they had, they just jealous he got it, what they have. That's it. It probably made them sick to their stomach to think. So we're going to pay him $46 million, and we know he's going to make money off these jerseys. Yeah, because he probably would have made $13 million this year. Somewhere between $12 or $13 million this year. Plus, say 15 from the jerseys. Plus, he had already made 17 before the draft. They don't want him to be rich like that. The money that they give to the Black people is not guaranteed. That's guaranteed money. Shedeur would have been number 2 overall. Travis's contract was guaranteed. So he would have probably gotten about $50 to $60 million in 1 year alone. Understand they had conversations about that. They get jealous. I met a lady one time from the country, and she told me she had 2 cars. She had like a nice car, and then she had like an older car, like an older Toyota Camry. And she worked at a dentist office. And she told me, yeah, I don't drive my nice car to work, because she said I'm the only Black person. I said, why? She said, oh no. She said, oh Lord, no. She said, they get jealous. She told me, she said, I wouldn't even have no job. She ain't lying. So when you're an athlete, it's no different, right? I saw a comment that said that's because he got fired because he was flashing out his jewelry. I didn't see him flash anything. But here's the thing. Pat Mahomes got robbed, and I don't never see him with no jewelry on. I don't know if Travis Kelce wears jewelry, right? I don't know if this had anything to do with that. I just know that the NFL tried to slide in on a popular publicized trend, and it was them, and they lied about it. So they're capable of doing it again when Shedeur is this close to QB1, something they seem to not want to allow. And Haslam did come out there with the 3 kids, and it was 3 people. And he clearly don't like Shedeur, because he would have never been reckless with his words. Oh, he wasn't my pick. He probably was the one that called him entitled. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. So the same goes for athletes as it goes for Black people in corporate America, wherever you work at. You need to keep your life private. When they see you pulling up in your Rolls Royce, so they know you making more money, you'll make your damn life hell. Get somebody else to get this job. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. That's just what it is. That's just the reality. And if anybody says anything different, they're going to find out. They're going to find out. Soon enough. Soon enough. Soon enough. It said Juju isn't going anywhere because he said that he's going to work with the receiver in Colorado, have some of the best receivers in college. Okay, let me talk about that again. I hate the fact that the portal is only once this year in January, because these kids could get trapped in this situation. They could wait intentionally to let the portal close and dismiss Coach Prime first, second, third game into the season. And what happens to Juju? I just asked the same question about Trinidad Shamblers. They don't like him like that. Pat Schumer don't. And since he's still there, and they had a narrative for him to come back, and now they have a new AD. After the old AD was smiling in Coach Prime's face saying, I'm committed to Coach Prime 100%, and he got smooth pushed out the way, and that portal opens one time, they can trap all them kids right there. That's why I said this game, where they made the switch to Juju. What did I say? I said this game right here, or when Juju started, I said this game right here is the one that these kids have to figure out, is it worth staying? And I can promise you, now that Marshall Faulk is gone, I'm pretty sure Juju put that out there to show faith and confidence in Coach Prime. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if he got management, they're going to talk to his family. Let's see how this game goes. Don't matter who calling the plays if it's Pat Schumer's schemes and playbooks, right? And he's still there, right? Okay. Gino, please. Yeah, Gino was annoyed. He was like, just blame me for everything. Because they blaming him for everything. When somebody said, let's just go put Kenny Pickett out there, I'm like, oh, okay. So you're not okay with you okay with Daniel Jones failing for 6 years. You okay with JJ McCarthy for 6 years. I'm like, buckle up, Bo. Because I'm sorry. Whenever it comes to these Black quarterbacks, they got 5 minutes to get it right. 5 whole minutes. And then not only do they have 5 minutes, they have 5 minutes being set up to get it right. They got 5 minutes and they being set up so they don't get it right. I heard people say, this is Shedeur make or break. No, the hell it ain't, because then he get first team reps. You can't have that conversation if he did not get first team reps with the O-line and the receivers. And Stefanski think he's slick enough, he'll send Jerry Jeudy out there and everybody will be like, oh, he got first team reps, but he got 1 rep. It's not with the O-line, and that's who sold him up the river. I never said Jerry Jeudy sold him out. I said Jerry Jeudy is not familiar with Shedeur enough to know that he throws his receivers open. But maybe Jerry Jeudy should have watched some film. Maybe if the receivers really want to win with Shedeur, they'll go watch some film. They'll stay late. They'll go do what they got to do to get it done on their own, because that's what you have to do. If you want to be successful, or you can just stick with Dylan and he keep hitting in the head with the goddamn ball. It's your choice. Take the initiative. Go out there and work out. You know why they're not giving him first team reps. If Colorado never pays the money it takes for O-line and D-line, they will never get what Prime wants, possibly. And you know they don't want to give him no money, which is why they don't have no money to fire him. So they say. It's that Chip Kelly is the worst coach in all of the NFL. As an Eagles fan, I have beef with Kelly for life and the afterlife. Okay. I thought he was the head coach when Shedeur was being sacked by UCLA. Am I right? And Kelly was the one that whispered in his ear, your O-line letting him tee off on you. Wasn't that him? The role. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hey, Queen T, welcome, welcome, welcome. It said this is some real stuff. It said this reminds me of the true story. Remember the Titan with Denzel Washington as the head coach, and they went through so many hardships. Yeah. It's the same thing. It said the NFL thinks people are stupid and can't figure out what they're doing. Facts. And they so arrogant. If you figure it out, they don't care because who gonna check me, boo? The fans. It will always be the fans. See, they got the players under their thumb. They felt like, and it probably so has them that franchise, you know, these are the most loyal fans. They'll come win or lose. So you could always get your season tickets though. And that's probably true. That's probably very true. Until last week. So now we're going to find out what the difference maker is. Why it is the fans want to real start calling Shedeur name. Because they want people to buy tickets for the 49ers game when they come to town. They don't want to be embarrassed about the boycott no more. He's a legal liability. That's probably it more than anything. Because he's still with the foolishness. Mental reps. See, that tell you right there. He ain't trying to do right. Prime effects means no revenue growth. Without the prime effect, Boulder will see a huge loss in revenue. They will be back to no seasoning and no flavor. Yeah, and they fine with that. See, this is what people don't understand. The people that had the power to mistreat Coach Prime, let Shedeur in them cars all get ticketed and booted, they didn't want, they was high up. The Regents, did they ever talk to the NCAA about cheating Colorado? No, but they should have, because do they do that to Georgia? No. Right? The Big 12 could have said, hey, they make us too much money. They don't care. We're just using him for the money anyway. And we rather him gone and we got the blueprint. We'll get this money ourselves. Already got their TV deal sold up. And sometimes with them, I don't care if I lose money, because sometimes it ain't about the money. Cam Ward sacked 38 times. They're not protecting him. He a first round overall pick, just like Caleb Williams was. And they didn't protect him either. And they paid him guaranteed $43 million. They don't care. That's what people don't understand. That's what Julian Johnson law means. Black people underestimate Jim Crow. We think, oh, Coach Prime bringing the money. I keep telling you that don't matter. Because if it did, they wouldn't be setting him up. They would be doing everything possible to retain him for long term and make sure nobody messed up his program. Are they doing that? No. They can see just like we can see. If I can see it, they can see it. They don't give him no money. They got money. He made $300 million and you still can't give up no money. That was in year one. You sold 3 seasons of ticket sales, season tickets 3 times. And they can't give him no money because they don't want to, because they know he's temporary. Let's see if he gets to the end of that contract. Because they said they ain't got no money to buy him out. Because if you find $44 million to buy him out, but you couldn't find $44 million to pay for talent. And remember what Shedeur said. Now, this could also factor into the draft. Cheating Shedeur out, devaluing him. Shedeur said out loud, when he gets to the NFL, you know, he get paid. He going to turn around and give Colorado some money so they can really recruit. That's going to be a little harder. I mean, he got it, but, you know, I don't think you want to give them all that kind of money. He does nice things, but it's not to the tune of $1 million, right? Buying a Kia don't cost $1 million. Putting on the little event for Garden Valley, that's not $1 million. When he said real money for recruiting, that's what he's talking about. They made sure he couldn't do that. They don't want Coach Prime to be the one that brings in 3 black quarterbacks like he already has, that funnels them, develops them, gets them over to the NFL, and they knocking at the door at 17, 18, 19, and 20. They don't want that. Everything, the agenda, and they probably got a code word for it. It's probably 17 and 32. maybe in Spanish. I don't know. That's all that matters. That's why Pat Schumer is at Colorado. That's why he was allowed to disrupt. Because they feel like it's us versus them. We don't see it that way. We just trying to see some good football. They don't care about the money if it means we're second to them, or third, or fourth, or poor. They don't care about the money when it comes to them maintaining power, control, and influence. The money is irrelevant at that point. I'll give you the money like Cam Ward and make your life hell. I'll give you the money like Travis and underutilize you so you can't get what you want. You want to get out here and win. You want to get out here and play. You want to play on both sides of the ball. Now you're at home laid up with your knee up. Cam, he can't do nothing he said he wanted to do. And they just trash him every moment they get. And they paid both of them a total of probably $48 and $30 million respectively, guaranteed. Already. What's that, $78 million? And you don't want to win with them? They don't care about the money. They care about the power, the influence, the control. That the agenda is their agenda and not Coach Prime's, not Shedeur's, not mine, not yours, not black people's, not black fans. But then I keep bringing all these black people around. I keep bringing all these black people around. But I let them be photographers so people can see them. Optics, that's what they care about. Optics. I care that the first overall pick that I didn't want, Cam Ward, that he looks bad so I can devalue him next year and move him to the bench. I don't care about the money. I get the satisfaction of controlling the show. That's what they care about. People need to understand that. And a lot of people don't. And it's not just black people. A lot of people don't understand that that's what it's about. Kevin is wicked. I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't either. It said he should go see his baby. I totally agree. Here's the thing. You damned if you do. You damned if you don't, Coach Prime. Go see Shedeur. It said Chip Kelly is not an NFL coach. That was settled the first time before he left for college. And he making what, $6 million a year? Yes, Vegas. Okay, so Destiny said yes, he should go to Vegas. Amber said yes, he should go to Vegas. They said the Browns want someone with star appeal because they building that stadium. Shedeur has star appeal. They want the Manning. They want somebody white. If you don't believe that, just look at the track record of all eight black quarterbacks. How many of them could ask for a trade and get it? You saw what happened to Deshaun when he asked for a trade. Black quarterbacks know they can't ask for no trade. They know what happened to Terrell Pryor before Deshaun. Black quarterbacks can't ask for no trade. That's career suicide. So you got to let it play out. Lynn say he should go. Welcome, Lynn. Welcome, welcome. Amber say yes, Vegas. Lynn C said my son. What you mean by my son? Let us know. It said yes, go to Vegas. That's Queen T. I totally agree. Lady V 1960. Okay, Scott. It said yes, Vegas. Okay, a lot of yeses for Coach Prime to go to Vegas. Yes, without a doubt. That's his son's first start in the NFL. True. That will be it. True. And don't tell nobody you coming either. Just call. Just don't tell nobody. Let them figure it out when you in the booth or wherever you're going to sit. And bring Carucci. I still want to watch her movie. I need to watch her new movie on Lifetime. Miss Anyway, welcome back. Miss Anyway said, yes, he should go see his baby. Val C said, yes, he should go see the game to Vegas. Prime, Seton, and Juju should go to Vegas. Okay, I like the Sugar Creek. I'm sure some people will be in their feelings if only they went, but it's on a Sunday. Why not? Facts, Bridget. That's what I'm saying. Colorado's game is over. Ain't nothing you can do about that. I don't care if you lose. Stand it, just get over it because it's going to be another night game coming up next week. And if you believe in God, like you say, ain't nothing you can do about it. Nothing you could do, and things might happen the way you don't want them to, but this ain't about you. Go see your kid on this day who came this close. It's not a coincidence he would get to start in Vegas with Coach Prime being that close. So he should definitely go and enjoy yourself. This y'all been wanting this for life. Don't let them disrupt your program, knowing how dedicated you are, and sacrifice, your son, seeing him, right? He should go. So I agree with y'all. I'm glad most people say yes, he should go. Lee said yes, he should go. Chip Kelly is screwing up the Raiders offense. That's Miss Pamela. Yes, it's his child. Grandma Lydia. Welcome, Grandma Lydia. How you doing? Lindsay said, I think he needs to leave Colorado. Life is short. Now that's another one. See, that's the unexpected, right? Coach Prime don't know how long he got left. None of us do, right? And you already just stared, cancer in the face. But here's the thing. The job is stressful. And cancer, stress exacerbates cancer. It does. And look at the draft, right? And they had no regard for that man's life. And they know, I feel sorry for your dad. Premeditated. And that premeditation makes me believe that targeting Shedeur at number 2 overall was also premeditated. And now I'm going to get you for cheap so you don't make $70 million off of us by yourself. And you're not 17 to 32, but hell, they knocking them off left and right. You see how they just snatching their opportunities away? Daniel Jones, 6 years. JJ McCarthy. Justin Jefferson is upset. Some people say they don't feel sorry for him because he shouldn't have signed his contract. See how the white quarterbacks, Justin Jefferson gets the blame. He should have never went there instead of, why did y'all do all of this to get JJ McCarthy? That's why the league is mediocre. They gave JJ McCarthy the keys to the Minnesota Vikings, moved Kirk Cousins to Atlanta to impede on Michael Penix Jr. first-round draft pick is still his joy. Yep, that's what they did. They moved Sam Darnold to Seattle to block whoever the hell they was going to get and move Geno Smith out. They sent Jalen Milroe over there. I have to check sometime to make sure he's still over there because they buried him at 3 on the depth chart like Shedeur. And they said Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions this past Sunday, but all they want to talk about is Shedeur. And then there's Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, they incentivized him to get better. I wonder how many black quarterbacks they incentivized. I wonder if they're going to incentivize Cam Ward. I wonder if they're going to actually give Shedeur his money. No. But they incentivized Daniel Jones to play well. Now all they talk about is the running back. They propped up Jackson Dart. And nothing they could do once the stars of the team, Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatterbull, got injured. Nothing they could do. But they want to hold back Shedeur because they don't want him to go out and ball out and people ask, why the hell did y'all push to the 5th round? There's no justification in any court of law that would agree with what the owners did. And because that reporter story we read said that they lied on certain players every year, certain equal black, the owners knew what time it was and they thought they was going to get away with it. But Boomer Esiason exposed them. Yeah, I agree. They took him off the board, and I agree. I was like, thank you. Did you what you just said, right? That's collusion. And you can't take somebody off the board because they entitled. But see, the problem is it was premeditated because they said before the draft, after the Super Bowl weekend, we don't want quarterbacks like Shedeur. And what exactly does that mean? You don't want black quarterbacks. You don't want black, rich, popular quarterbacks with 4 million fans. But the point is you don't want no black quarterbacks because look at how you're treating the other 16 of 32. Shedeur was 17. Milroe was 18. Dante Moore, 19. That's what they're trying to stop. So at the end of the season, look at how many finished the season in the last game. We already down to what, 13? I done moved 3 of them out the way. Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, possibly, and Spencer Rattler. Then if I come for Geno Smith, if the Browns win, that's 4. So I'm down to 12. If I get Cam Ward, I'm down to 11. If I demote CJ Stroud, I'm down to 10. Understand? That's the plan. And they don't care how mediocre the game is. They don't care. CP was like, what I'm doing is none of your business, right? Because I tell them. He better not tell them nothing because they'll use it against him. It said, let them walk together and watch 12 show out. Yeah. It said, actually, I think they hate on him even more so. It said, I'd go if I didn't have plans already. Right. I wish, honestly, there was somebody I read in the comments. I don't know who video it was. It was like, I already got my ticket. I got my hotel room. I got my flight, this, that, the other. I'm like, man, I wish I had considered this, right? But I mean, like I knew, right? They were like, I want to see Shedeur ball out in person. Somebody put up their betting thing, the thing that they use to bet. I'm like, damn, and they bet like $3,000, or they gonna win $3,000. People talking about, y'all crazy. Fans are going crazy. See, this what would have happened at the NFL built up the game with Lamar and Shedeur, but they didn't want to. And this is why I say they stupid. Here's another game with 2 black quarterbacks. So what the hell you disrupt this one for? You disrupt this game, and now it's still 2 more black quarterbacks. And it's going to be 2 more black quarterbacks next week, because 2 black quarterbacks, even if it's 13 of them, still going to play against each other. At least 12 of them. You can't stop it. And people said that's why they trying so hard. They so desperate, even though they don't look and appear desperate. That's why they're so desperate, because once that genie makes it all the way out of the bottle to 17, and you see Shedeur finna get out here because it's safe. It's safe. I'm down to 13. So, okay, he 14. Who cares? Then I'm going to get Cam next. Then I'm going to get Geno next. It's safe. It's safe. Somebody asked me one time, do you think if it gets under 16, will they let him play? I said probably, depending on how low it is, because they actually account for, somebody might get injured. The way they're looking at Cam job, the way they salivated at the beginning of the season over Caleb Williams, the way they were trying to get rid of Cam Ward before he took 1 snap, the way they held back Spencer Rattler, they have already looked at the rest of the season. They know exactly where each black quarterback is. They know exactly how many get out the way. And they know what white quarterback could possibly get injured that a black quarterback could step up. But there are several NFL teams where they don't have a black quarterback at all. So if Brock Purdy go down, it's Mac Jones. And I promise you, he going to take somebody's job next year. And don't be surprised if he in Cleveland or Minnesota or Houston or Vegas, but not New York, because that they saving that for Jackson Dart. They don't do that for the black quarterback. Shedeur can overcome his O-line now that he knows what time it is, because he did it at Colorado, but he shouldn't have to. He can overcome Stefanski, but he can't overcome them receivers. They were talking about getting Odell Beckham Jr. because he's free to go back to a team. People are saying the Browns need to re-sign him. How y'all feel about Odell Beckham Jr. coming back to the Browns with Shedeur as the starter for the rest of the season? Do you think it would help the wide receiver situation, or do you think it's more about the lack of chemistry? That regardless of who the receivers are, Shedeur going to develop those receivers. I think he'll develop whoever. But it seems like Odell Beckham Jr. could possibly be plug and play immediate without the time to develop. What do y'all think about that? Like, if Odell Beckham Jr. were the receiver instead of Gage, I don't know his style of play. Is he more like a Trav? Is he not worried about falling on his hand and breaking his fall? Would he just have went up and got it? Kind of like Omarion, I'm going to get up over you and get it. In other words, I'm going to make it happen. Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious. Bless said, yes, he should go to Vegas. It said, Coach Prime know that he's going, but he doesn't want the media to know, and the fans will be on him. Okay, I totally agree. I'll take that one. 22, welcome back. Triple G said, yes, he should go. Gemini said, yes, he should go. Miss Cher, welcome, welcome, welcome. He should go to support his son. I totally agree. It's that Chip Kelly is screwing up the Raiders. How many times do you have this in here, Miss Pamela, that Chip Kelly is screwing up the Raiders? Am I just backtracking? It said Shedeur is going to be ready this weekend, in my opinion. I ain't worried about Shedeur being ready, Miss Queen T. I'm worried about the receivers. I'm worried about that damn O-line. And I ain't even worried about Stefanski. Because if Shedeur can overcome Pat Schumer, he can overcome Kevin Stefanski because he has a sleeve. And that's exactly what he did at Colorado. And you see they let him do it because they got the O-line on the payroll. The receivers don't matter if the O-line don't get it together. Shedeur now knows this. I think his hands was in his head because he's like, this Colorado all over again. He's sick of it. But he know what to do. He know what to do. And they think he's going to be rattled by that break-in. He's somewhere safe. He can go to sleep. Got money, you can just get up and move. And when you got family, whether you have money or not, you can just get up and move. So shout out for Shedeur to having the wherewithal to get up and move, because you never know about this situation. He'd have been targeted once by the NFL and they lied. This could be Cleveland and they're lying. Because a lot of people think that they have something to do with it. And there were 3 kids standing behind the owner. That's one hell of a coincidence. That's one hell of a coincidence. It said Prime definitely going to the game. Okay. I just want him to take Carucci and have a good time. It said, yes, Vegas and the whole family should support Shedeur. I agree. And get Snow too and take him out there. I think the whole family should go. I think Shalimar, I saw her video why she goes to HBCU. I was like, oh my God. She's like, because, you know, she feels like it's the community and they celebrate Black excellence. I was like, she's definitely an HBCU girly. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. But if y'all haven't seen her post, I put it in my stories. So yeah, they paid her to sponsor an ad for going to HBCUs and this, that, and the other. I was like, okay. And they say, you know, her family legacy, her legacy could live on. I mean, she really likes it there. She really is living her best HBCU girly life. So shout out to Shalimar. But I think the whole family should go, right? And I didn't hear if Miss Pilar was there or not. Maybe we don't need to know that. But I'm glad no one was at the house. But somebody, a bodyguard, needs to be around, regardless of his residence. I have said it. How far will they go? And he hadn't been robbed yet. Ma'am say he should go. Coach Prime should go. Okay, Joyce said yes, Vegas. Oh, Pamela, I don't know why I keep seeing your comment about Chip Kelly screwing up the Vegas Raiders, but if you keep typing it, I got the message. Cynthia Milner said yes, he should go. He should go. Bridget said they don't practice on Sunday, right? I don't know. Sometimes he'll have the people that didn't play or didn't play much practice, but he don't need to be there for that. He don't need to be there for that. Let's just be honest. He don't need to be that. That's why you got assistant coaches. That's why you got Bertalone. And I already saw Bertalone running the practice anyway. So, you know, let Bertalone take over. Might as well. Okay, Miss Pamela, did you type this in again? It said CP Bucky Shiloh, his sisters, his mom, Florida, heck, even Bucky's dog. Yeah, I agree. Everybody should go. Oh, yeah, Bucky got some. I know he had 2 dogs, Jeffrey and the other one. I didn't know. I thought it was just Jeffrey. It said Kevin knows eyes are on him. He better not try any mess. I totally agree. Because you know what? If 55 tried again, people going to lose their minds. Because you know people betting on this game. I'm telling y'all, if I have the guy, the person that bet, I mean, I don't know how to bet, so I don't know what I be looking at sometimes, but it's just crazy to me how people are, Shedeur gonna throw this many yards. Like, I'm like, is he really the starter or we just out here guessing? I hate that they feelings could be hurt because you can't trust the Stefanski. That's why I'm waiting. I'm waiting because you can't trust the Stefanski. He's still on that crap. He's still on it. See if they have the one where the person bet. Here it is right here. Let me show this to y'all because this is crazy. It's Cleveland versus Las Vegas. Let me show it to y'all. Somebody say, y'all crazy. Y'all doing all this already. Fans are excited. And I'm pretty sure that's what Haslam should want. And that should tell him he need to fire Stefanski. Oh, Tony Grossi say everybody getting fired after the season. That's too late. Why leave them there to mess up the rest? Like I said about Colorado. But that's what he said. So we gonna see. Stefanski should be fired immediately. And Cam Newton actually said what Stefanski did, not getting Shedeur ready, is a fireable offense. And for people that kept saying, Dylan, that it's not common, Jamel Hill, it's not common for the backup to get, I'm like, I don't give a damn what nobody did on another team. Dylan Gabriel in 2025 as QB3 had first team reps with the offense and the defense. And as QB2 had first team reps with the offense and the defense. That's all that matters. I don't give a damn about nobody on no other team and no other decade. It's about what happened in Cleveland this year with Shedeur being treated differently. That is discrimination. And people need to get off of that about what happened to you in 2006. Nobody cares. It's about what happened in Cleveland in 2025. And if Shedeur could have first team reps with the defense and never with the offense, then they don't want him to get in and ball out. And you should ask yourself why. That should be the conversation. Why is it you don't want to win with your franchise QB that you were going to pay $46 million to the point that you would lie and say his skill set is out? That is a lie. To say he's a retro style QB, that is a lie. He's got to be one of the most exciting QBs we've watched thus far in Cleveland. And the fans are not letting up. And this is why they didn't want him to practice with the ones so he could look good and ball out. And the fans want to keep him because they want to get their white quarterback or their non-black quarterback. It's disgusting. This has no place in football, and Haslam should be forced to sell his team for this. He's allowing this to happen. This being racism. This on him. So yeah, check them 3 kids behind him. Shout out to Miss Pamela. It said he put them in position to tie the game despite everything. Yeah, he did. And had that ball connected, what would have happened? Oh, that's when the game would have been tied. Yeah, 7 points. It said, yes, Shedeur kind of needs him as a dad right now. I agree. And I know sometimes people think their kids, when they get older, you know, and a lot of people, you know, still talk to their kids, this, that, and the other. But, you know, your grown kids don't always tell you when something going on. You have to sometimes, depending on who they are, because they want to be strong, you know, especially if you that parent. You know, they just want to figure it out for themselves, or they think they can. But the wisdom that a parent has, you know, you older than your child for obvious reasons, right? So you can guide your child and you can pick up on the cues. And then with Shedeur getting robbed, there's no way I wouldn't go. Knowing that he got robbed, knowing what happened in the draft, knowing how he's being treated. There's no reason why on a Sunday I can't hop on that PJ, because that's why you got it, and use it while you still got it, and go to Vegas. So like 22 said, he probably will. But we as a community overwhelmingly agree that he should go to the game. And I say take Carucci. That's what I say. Don't hide your life from these people no more. It said, even in one game, Shedeur Sanders threw what he does with protection. Shedeur Sanders showed what he does with protection, right? And that's what people say against our lives. Josina Anderson, she said it. When he did have protection, he was good. I'm like, right. And look at why he didn't have no protection. It was intentional. And 55, 77, and Stefanski should all be forced to pack up and get the hell on. That was crazy. That's crazy. And it has them, you know, for somebody that didn't want Shedeur, I bet he like, damn, the fans real happy. I could actually do this with him. He knew that already. He just didn't want to. And see, now the fans have shown them, we'll leave this stadium sitting empty. They never had to go. If you can leave that stadium empty to 30 minutes before, knowing it opens probably an hour and a half before, or maybe 2 hours before, that's boss. That's why I was like, is this real? That's boss. That's letting them know we got to show up because we bought these tickets, but we ain't got to show up on time. We can still embarrass you. And that's what they should keep their leverage. Put Shedeur in max protection with 2 tight ends. It depends on who the tight ends are too. Because remember, it was a tight end that dropped the ball in the Rams game. Martin Harrison Jr., I know that's their guy, but it looked like he did good for this game. Somebody going to be on the team. I don't care what nobody say. I'm still thinking the old lineman, if he didn't get no first team reps and then receivers didn't call him up and say, hey, because wasn't he hanging out with some people? I think when the school that Flacco went to played Shedeur, Colorado Buffs. And they showed him and his friends somewhere. They were all hanging out, and I think they were players. So he hangs out with some of the players. But the receivers, the leading receiver, Jerry Jeudy, should get the rest of the receivers and tight ends together and say, shut up. We finna go over here to this field in this city, in this other town where they don't know us, and we just gonna go out here and play ball. And they're not gonna know it's us, don't wear no orange, don't wear no brown, and we just gonna throw the ball probably about an hour, and that's it. That's how you gotta do if you really want to win. No point in speaking up for him and saying he's ready and you don't take the initiative off the clock when you know they intentionally trying to set him up. Show him some love and go meet up with him. Because he's good. And people see that. Tony Grossman was like, yeah, that's the best football I've seen. Haslam gonna fire everybody. I'm like, damn, you flipped. Somebody said something about Dylan Gable fans. I'm like, Dylan Gable got fans? Nobody on the internet. Nobody. I don't know if all of those people were bots. I don't know if they just canceled their accounts. I don't know where they went. But all that Dylan Gable, that is gone. I mean, just out the window. Out the window. And I think the Cleveland.com channel did a poll. I don't even know if I showed y'all this. They did a poll. They asked to grade Shedeur. Do you know the Cleveland folks that took that poll? You know they gave him a B. B, what best. Yeah, they gave him a B overwhelmingly. That's saying a lot. Half are gonna have a hard time pushing off of Shedeur next season. And if he gets somebody else other than Shedeur and they trade Shedeur, ooh, he gonna have to. They gonna get rid of him. They gonna figure something out. See, they were loyal because they felt like they didn't think they were being strung along. But with Shedeur there, they see it. They were like, you were gonna get him at number 2. Why you don't want to play him? Why you want to lose? And they just sick of it. They went 3-14 last year, or 4-13. Whatever it is trash, right? And they on their way back to that this year. So if they let Shedeur play and it don't work out, then they get to say, see, he wasn't good. But it can't be a scenario where you set him up. And personally, I don't think the fans are going to sit quiet, whether they Shedeurians or whether they are Browns diehards. After the Browns people gave him a B, the letter B, they believe in Shedeur. So Cleveland better get on board or half of them gonna lose his team. All right, this is the person that bet it. Don't know what I'm looking at, but this is how quick they were really trying to say. It said they bet that Shedeur anytime touchdown scorer. So I guess that means he gonna score a touchdown because he didn't score one in this game. So he's saying in this game they gonna score a touchdown. It says Sanders 200 plus yards, all passing yards. So he gonna throw for over 200 yards. Facts. And Sanders one something passing touchdown. He gonna have one passing touchdown, one or more passing touchdown. Okay, for all passing yards. Okay, so he gonna have one passing touchdown. He gonna have a touchdown. It could be a passing touchdown. That's probably a reality. 200 yards. That could happen. That could happen. I have to look and see how many yards he threw for that Baylor game. Shedeur was sacked 8 times in that Baylor game. So I have to look up how many yards he threw the ball for and how many yards he rushed for. And then it says 25 must be plus or more yards for rushing. Okay, I'm gonna look at the Baylor game because he was sacked 8 times and he still overcame the right side of the O-line. So what happened in the rate with the O-line, not the receivers, was deja vu. But that's so you could get over it. That's not to bring you down. That's so you know exactly what to do to get over it. So, yeah, people out here betting. It said something about 3-3-4-1, $10 wins $300, or is that $3,000? It looked like $300. So I don't know, but this is how people pick and choose the bets. But they happy. Fans are happy. The bettors are happy. Browns fans, Shedeurians are cautious because we don't trust Stefanski, right? We don't trust Kevin Stefanski to do right by Shedeur. We haven't heard any confirmation of first team reps, right? So what that means is we're cautious until we hear he got first team reps. Then we're still cautious because why? The O-line. Even though we know he can overcome it, we don't know if it's going to switch to the left or if it's going to be the same people to the right. So Shedeurians, we're cautious, cautiously optimistic in a wait and see mode. Wait to see what it's going to be, if he really going to get the start, if we're going to confirm first team reps, maybe to see if they get Odell Beckham Jr., and then the O-line. I think I'm more concerned about the O-line than I am the receivers. So, all right. So let's see. Somebody sent us a super sticker. Who is that? Let's see. Is that Cameron? Hey, Cameron, how you doing? It says 55 and 77 on my radar all game. Yes, and we will be live again. We will do our virtual hangout again. Are we watching the game yet? We boycotted. What were we doing? Last time we watched the game, there were people in the comments that told us we should do a got in. Then we watched the game. Do we want to go down that same path at the virtual hangout? We just talking about the game, looking at the stats until they say Shedeur get in. Now, if he's the starter, we start off watching the game. The moment Shedeur hit the field, whether it's the first quarter at 14 minutes on the clock, or if it's the second quarter with what like it was last time. But if he ain't playing at all, I'm not watching the game. So it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. I will be live. I will schedule the virtual live stream probably on Friday. That way y'all know to look for the thumbnail. But then if I do it on Thursday, just look for it. I'm excited because it was fun last time. Fun, and it was exciting when Shedeur got in, and everybody said he brings excitement to the team, and they have hope that with a good O-line, I'm like, they ain't bad. They just choose to be trash. But with a good, competent O-line, somebody that's not setting him up, they know he can ball out. They believe in him. Just like that. That's why they was keeping him off the field. That's why they didn't have him in practice in front of his own teammates, because they gonna talk. They already said they knew he was ready. Now they're gonna be saying what the fans are saying. He can win. Let's see what happens. So, Cameron, if y'all watching the game, y'all let us know. But, we got the plan. I'm excited. I hate to say it because, we boycotting them, and I know everything ain't worked out. I'm excited for Shedeur. It's been a hard weekend. It's been a hard weekend. The majority of the What She Said family, unfortunately, gave Shedeur a C. I gave him an A-. A lot of people gave him a C, then they gave him a B, and then they gave him an A-, and then they gave him an A. So just stepped it from the bottom to the top. But the Cleveland people gave him a B. That's huge. That's huge. I don't know why we would give him a C. I'm going to assume that was just random people, not us, because it was just open to anybody on YouTube. Because when we talked, most people gave him an A or a B. So if you put the two together, he got a B-. So I'll just take that. So that means people believe in him. And that's huge. That's huge, right? So, all right, let me see who else is in here. Then we're going to get ourselves out of here. This was good. This was good. Val said we watching. 420 said he started. Is this confirmed? Is this confirmed? I thought they said if Dylan is out of protocol. I keep hearing if. And let me know. I'm going to have to look it up because I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Let's see. I had one more thing to share with y'all. Oh, let me share this with y'all. So this was the printed version of what happened with the break-in at Shedeur's old house because he moved. So let me share this with y'all, and then we're going to get out of here. Okay. Let me know if you can see my screen. All right. So it says, Cleveland Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders' home in Granger Township, I don't know why he felt the need to tell us that. I'm glad he moved. Ohio was burglarized on Sunday, November 16, 2025, while he was making his NFL debut against the Baltimore Ravens. According to authorities, approximately $200,000 in property was stolen from the residents. Details of the incident. The perpetrators, the Medina County Sheriff's Office, reported that 3 masked and gloved suspects were captured on surveillance footage entering and exiting the home. The time frame 6:46 p.m. They were in the house for 12 minutes. It said this happened during the second half of the Browns-Ravens game. Okay, all right. That's a game changer. That's a game changer. And why is that a game changer? Nobody knew who was playing. So you mean to tell me that these little thugs already had their mask, they already knew where Shedeur stayed, they already had their plan, and they said, "Oh, he playing in the game." Why wait till the second half if you already know he at the game? Why wait until he's playing? Did you think he was going to leave the game and come home for a grilled cheese sandwich? Why did it happen while he was playing? That's a game changer. Because you would think if he's at the game, I'm going to rob him in the first half because anything could happen in the second half. They did this while he was in the second half on the field. That's not a game changer for y'all. The door unlocked. That's not a game changer for y'all. Mask and gloves. Most people just put on a mask. But they didn't want you to see what color they were. I don't know if YNs wear gloves when they rob people. I just don't. Because we talking about young people. Regardless of race. I don't know that. I have to talk to some Atlanta folk and find out if some hood folks will tell you, "Oh yeah, we don't really get down like that," right? All people steal, so it don't matter. What y'all thinking? That's the game changer, bro. They robbed him in the second half while he was playing. Think what I said about Cam Ward. I can give you this money, but I don't have to let you enjoy it. Sacked 38 times, and he's supposed to be the prize. That's a game changer for me. That's a game changer, boo. I didn't even read that. That's to go show the shade. I didn't even read it. That's crazy. And they put it in here. It said this happened during the second half of the Browns-Raven game. That is a game changer, because if I'm trying to get in and get out, I'm not in there for 12 minutes, number one. Number two, I'm going in the first half. I'm not waiting to the second half. They waited till he was in the game. And I just don't believe that, like when we were live, they start seeing Shedeur's playing, let's go rob his house. Oh, the back door is open. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nope. Either they knew he was going to play, like the Ole Miss guy knew Shedeur was not getting drafted, which means inside information, proprietary information. Did they guess that Shedeur was going to play? And just no. That's more of a message. That's more of a message. And that's why he moved. That's the message. You gonna rob me in the second half and stay in my house for 12 minutes. You could have robbed me in the first half, got in and got out like most thieves. They don't just hang around. 12 whole minutes of silence is a lot. And the last one in the back was scary. The one in the middle one was not as scary, but also like dumpy. The first one was on a mission. The first one was on a mission. You're not going to tell me that they randomly saw Shedeur's video that Bucky filmed that showed the clothes, the closet, the whatever, had the mask laying out, heard he got in the game, and the back door was just unlocked, and they was there for 12 minutes in the second half. The incident is under active investigation by Medina County Sheriff's Office, and no arrests have been made. And I know that other people had ring cams. It said the burglary is the latest in a series of similar incidents where professional athletes' homes have been targeted by thieves. Often while the athletes are away for games. I swear if I could get my hands on the reports of each of these people that were robbed, Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and if they got robbed in the first half, or the half that they were playing in, then okay. But no. And all their back doors was unlocked, then maybe. Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, and Luka Doncic in Dallas. So yeah, athletes do get hit up. But again, a lot of people got pranked, and they tried to slide in on that prank, but it was the NFL. It was the NFL. And Haslam did have 3 kids standing behind him that were not his people. And the media let you think that it was, because they could have cleared that up. And he was in the second half while he was playing. And the back door was just randomly unlocked. And they was in there for 12 whole minutes. They never gave a thought about who was at the house. And did they know, based on the tickets that Shedeur had, how many people showed up? His mom, Florida, his driver. Bucky wasn't there. They didn't invite him. And they didn't invite him, I guess. Or he turned it down. Because Bucky said, I should have been there. I wonder why he wasn't there. So he got robbed when Bucky wasn't filming, when his mom and Florida were likely at the game. The back door was unlocked. They parked down the street and walked to the house wearing gloves to conceal their skin tone. You couldn't even see their face or their hair. And they were there 12 minutes. And they just took bags, no cash. I didn't hear the word jewelry. I heard sunglasses, bags, clothes. That's it. I didn't hear jewelry. Because honestly, what you gonna do with his jewelry? It's custom. So they knew they couldn't steal his jewelry. If they didn't steal his jewelry, they knew they couldn't, because it's custom. I can hear it. I need you to do something for me. I need you to hit this house and take what you want, but house, and do it in the second half of the game. So I'm gonna tell you what time it is. Yep. It's a little suspicious. Like I said, the back door unlocked. That part of the story murkies up the water, and I don't even know if I believe it. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. I had no idea. It said, what items were stolen from the house? It said authorities did not provide a full list of stolen items from Shedeur Sanders' home, but have stated that the thieves took clothes, hats, sunglasses, and high-value bags. They did not take his jewelry. This is the second time I've heard and read the same thing. They would, if they said jewelry, they would have took the jewelry. They knew they couldn't take his jewelry. It said the Medina County Sheriff's Office estimated that the total value of property was $200,000. That's crazy. It said the burglars reportedly ransacked a bedroom. So his bedroom, not the kitchen, not the guest room, his bedroom, and emptied nightstands and closets during the 12-minute break-in. So Shedeur probably got a 5-bedroom house. They ransacked his bedroom. They went to this person. This is personal. This is personal. And they didn't take his jewelry. Because the thief would have took the jewelry. Then they steal jewelry at the Rose Bowl? Yeah. Because most people don't really think like that. Somebody definitely didn't want to be identified. That's facts. Definitely didn't want to be identified by race. Didn't want to be identified by anything. Hell, it could have been a girl in the back. That was scary. But they definitely did not want to be identified because they intentionally did not take that jewelry unless the media left that part out. And if you see that legendary chain again, they did not take his jewelry. Because what I'm going to do with that? All right, that's it, guys. So let me know. I'm curious to see if that's a game changer for y'all to know that they robbed him in the second half. And it's not a coincidence that they put that in the paper. That's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence at all. That's a game changer right there. That's different, y'all. That's different. So let me see what y'all saying about that. It said there were 3 white guys wearing Balenciaga shoes. Who the hell is robbing somebody in Balenciaga shoes? So they were white. Interesting. How did you find that out? It said, I wish Shedeur was more like Shiloh and discreet. It said, and it could be jealous teammates. It could be, but somebody had to know where he lived. See, it's not, I don't think it was random because, again, this is the rental house. He don't live where everybody else lives. He live in the opposite direction. They said that. It's crazy for the media to tell where the hell he live at after they already broke in his house. That's it's good he moved. And that's crazy. This crazy. Deliberate. That's what it's given. It's given. Why would you rob him in the second half? If I'm gonna rob you, I'm going as soon as the game starts because anything can happen. Anything can happen. Somebody can come home and forgot something. I would rob you as soon as y'all left. Because you at the game. And if I'm working with somebody on the inside, I know where they was sitting at. I'm like, yep, his mama here. Yep, his boy here. But you see how they was looking like they was looking. They was a little jumpy. Cleveland is 42% black. And 3 white guys in Balenciaga shoes. What y'all thinking about that? Because that's different. That explains why they wore the gloves, because they didn't want people to see they was white. I know I saw somebody's wrist and it wasn't black. But I wasn't sure about the one in the back. It was a little jumpy. But they weren't even made. It was like the build was a little different. They weren't even dressed like I would have expected if it was us, to be honest. Cleveland is 42% black. Understand that. Shiloh got that, not that discreet. It said people be at his place too. Yeah. I don't think Shedeur did anything wrong. Again, I'll never see Pat Mahomes and they robbed him. But do y'all think these 3 were the ones that robbed the other dudes? Do y'all think there's a connection, or is this a copycat? I think it's a copycat. And I also think it's an inside job. Yes, I do. It said, who had Bucky tied up so he couldn't be there? It said, let's start with that dude, with that clue. I don't know. But normally the NFL invites him. So was he invited and he chose not to go, or did they not invite him this time? Those are questions that need answers. I thought y'all said Bucky was going to be there. So anybody that heard, did anybody hear Bucky say he was going to Cleveland this time? I watched him on the video, watching Shedeur get in. He said, I should have been there. I think he was in Texas. Him and the other guy that be on the sideline in Colorado, I think they flew to Texas. Inside job all day. That's what it's given. That's what it's given because it was a rental house. It said Shiloh be having a random Hispanic people up under him. Yeah, he do have dog. He have friends. It said, I don't know who had Bucky tied up. It said, Shedeur Sanders he was given. He didn't have time to change the locks. Understand, locks are digital now. Locks in up higher end houses, and I saw the house. Locks in higher end houses, they ain't got no keys. It's digital. Now, maybe this one was, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. I know the neighbors got a ring cam. I know somebody's ring cam caught them walking down the street. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody's ring cam or a street camera that they don't know are there. And did y'all notice they never looked up and looked around for cameras? Just in a little hallway? They never even thought to look for cameras? They don't seem like professionals to me. Because the one in the back ain't never robbed nobody. He too scary. She too scary. Ready to run at any moment. The second one wasn't that much better. But the one in the front. It's giving intimidation. That's what it's giving to me. It's giving they try to intimidate him and run him off because they don't want him to be QB1. They don't want him to ball out because there's too much at stake. From the draft, Jackson Dart from the draft, Tyler Shaw being drafted before him. We were going to get you at number 2, but we didn't. We got Dylan. You cannot justify that. Dylan was an undrafted free agent. He only went to the Manning Passing Academy, and that's how he got booted up. We made a mistake, but you could just say, I'm sorry. They don't want him to ball out. So let's see what they're going to do to keep him off that field. They already robbed the damn house. I'm sorry. That's supposed to rattle him, and he did have to move. Let's see what happened next. I wonder how many other Browns players got robbed. Because if he the first one in like 10 years, 5 years, 3 seasons, Deshaun Watson got jewelry. Nobody robbed him. Them other players got jewelry. Nobody robbed him. Jackson Dart got jewelry. Nobody robbed him. Seems like somebody trying to slide in on some other things that happened. And understand this. There's only a few people that will know about that because that was not widespread information. How many of y'all knew all these other people had been robbed? I didn't know that. The NFL knows that. They know Pat Mahomes was robbed. They know Travis Kelce was robbed. They know Joe Burrow was robbed. They know that. Just like they knew the prank calls were happening. So we slid in on that. So it's possible they slid in on this. Because they sure set him up to fail at his second half start. And he gets robbed in the second half. That's crazy. And nobody supposedly knew he was playing. He said he found out at halftime. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. It said not this is just personal for Shedeur. No, this is just personal for Shedeur. It's definitely personal. It's definitely personal. It said this was a setup. Dylan does not have no concussion. It was an inside job. Yep. And now here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I don't know why they had a flashlight. It wasn't dark because you could see through the window. I don't know. It was 6:46. Maybe it was getting dark. I don't know. Maybe they want to turn on the lights. They had on gloves. I don't know. But did I go there to retrieve something and did I go there to leave something? Because they went in his bedroom. They ransacked his bedroom and then they went into the closets. They went through his nightstands. What was I looking for? What am I looking for in his nightstands? I didn't take his jewelry. What the hell am I looking for in his nightstands? If I start a video, I'm going straight to the closet. I got 2 minutes, I'm getting in and out. Who takes 12 minutes to rob somebody? Because you knew in the second half, he would be on the field. It's giving an inside job. It's giving an inside job. And if they come back and say, yeah, we hit a dead end. Nope. I think it's an illusion of a copycat. Kevin and Haslam set it up. Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely the Browns. I think it was Browns. But I don't know. I don't want to throw shade of a mixed couple. Who is the mixed couple in Cleveland? Who are you talking about? Let us know. You want to email me? Feel free to email me what she said 404@gmail.com. I'll read it first before I say it out loud. It said he said he was supposed to be there. He said he was supposed to be there. Where was he supposed? Who are you talking about? Who was supposed to be where? Oh, Bucky. Bucky said he was supposed to be there. So what happened? I wonder. Do you think they canceled at the last minute or? Because he said, I thought he said I should have been there, but maybe he said I was supposed to be there. Okay, I'm pissed and had to get that off. It said, let the police handle this mess. Yeah, I don't think we can trust the police in this matter because they got his address from somewhere. If it didn't come from the DMV, HR is the next suspect. Unless he had a pool and there was a pool cleaner and they know the door will be unlocked and he'd be playing in the game in the second half. Because Balenciaga shoes, I wonder if they stole them from somewhere else. It's that they are green. They look green. They look green. It's that Bucky was in goals with CP. Then they flew back to Colorado that Sunday. Bucky was what? With CP in something. Then they flew back to Colorado that Sunday. Watch Well Off Media. It shows everything, even with Shedeur. Okay, I shall. It said, yes, he stated it about midweek. What's that, Joyce? That he was supposed to be there? So I wonder what happened. It said this is very symbolic. Yep, it sure is. It said who would be mad at Shedeur? Kevin Stefanski. 32 NFL owners that don't want him to play. Because everybody knows Stefanski doing their bidding. Because that's the only way Stefanski's job is safe. And they let you know that already. His job is safe. Oh, okay. And that's when the fans decided to boycott. Shedeur has small dogs, Frenchies, and I think these are young amateurs. That's what it looks like. It's not giving pro. It said it could have been somebody sent the young ones to do the deed. That's what I think. That's what it's giving. It's like somebody needed them to do this hit, to get this stuff or get what you want and do this or whatever it is. I need you to do this. And you can get whatever you want. Second half of the game. Who has masks and stuff just laying around and you wait till the second half of a football game start and then you rob the person and then you in their house for 12 minutes and they got dogs? I never saw dogs. I didn't see the dogs on that video. I don't know. I don't know. And the back door was open. I'm not really sure I believe that. I'm really not. Because I don't know who would have did that. Shedeur, as you could tell, is very careful. But I felt like they said the door was unlocked to make you look in a different direction. Remember the word F-E-I-N-T, a feint? While you looking this way, you getting robbed blind this way. You thinking it's the inside job with somebody he know because the door was unlocked and it could be his employer. I actually have a video I'm getting ready to post about top NFL draft prospects being targeted. And here it is, Shedeur is being robbed. And he's actually discussed because people don't consider the NFL taking down their own prospects, but the NFL took down Shedeur. Started with the commissioner. Then the NFL gave out his phone number. They knew they didn't want him, and then the New York Giants defamed him. The Browns acted like they befriended him. Kevin Stefanski told him the law works in mysterious ways, and when he hit the ground in Cleveland, he treated him like Shedeur was pariah. And now he gets robbed after everything else that has happened. And they white with Balenciagas on and obviously are amateurs. And didn't take his jewelry. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Is Boog trustworthy? I don't know. Was he there? I don't think he was there. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know them like that. Personal items. They want a story. It said he needs to go private for real. Yeah. When I saw that video, I was like, oh, okay, because that was showing a lot. But I think it's the people that know where they live at because cars not registered there. And if so, it ain't that address. License from Mississippi. That's why it's still licensed from Mississippi. Phone, probably not even in his name. Because he know how to. Because remember when he was at Colorado, somebody leaked out his phone number? And he had to get another phone. So he know how to protect himself. So it says Shedeur found out why he was on the field. Oh, he found out while he was on the field that he was going in. Yeah, he did find out. He did say right as the half was starting or something like that. It said Boog, aka Boogie Night, has been around the family for years. Yeah, I don't know that person. I see the person on the internet, but that's about it. It's probably a ritual. He started on the field. There are rules on this in the beginning. He has just entered the plantation. They got big land for Shedeur, big plans for Shedeur. Yeah, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. Bucky said, I should have been there. Okay, That's what I thought he said. I should have been there. I'm like, I have to go back and now watch his videos to hear him say, I'm going to Cleveland. I was surprised he was in Cleveland, but he said I should have been there. So I don't know if he ever said he was going. I have to go back and check. If y'all heard it, let me know what video it was on. I'm gonna go back and watch it. Nightstands, yeah. It said they put something in the nightstand, probably. Because why are you going through people's nightstands? And here's the thing: if you stole stuff that you could sell, boost to sell person to person, bags, you're gonna get that to your girlfriend or your mama or your this, your that, and the other. You ain't going to no pawn shop with none of it because they gonna call the police anyway. Because that's what they do. So this is boosting, right? So if you boost this, you giving it person to person who not gonna say nothing, but Cleveland ain't a very rich place, so they must be. They gotta be from somewhere else. Balenciaga shoes. Who robs people in Balenciaga shoes? I don't know. Just like the draft, it was exposed, right? So let's just hang tight. Just buckle up. Buckle up. It said the person who is always with Shedeur. You're talking about Florida. Now, Florida been around since he was a kid, and he probably have anything Shedeur have. That's who you talking about, Florida. It says Shedeur needs to go in a high rise with security. Actually, that don't matter either. If they want to get you, they want to get you. Here's what Shedeur need, because he's a football player. He's gone on the road. They finna go to Vegas. Leave somebody at your house. You got to have a bodyguard. People who are trained for this sort of thing, not somebody who just in the house and they don't think nothing gonna happen and they're gonna run and scream and hide. No, you need a bodyguard because you are under attack by your own employer and you don't know if they did this or not, because they did the other thing. They did the call. They gave out the number. That was inside information. It's a rental house. Car's not registered to that location because that ain't his house. It's still probably registered to Texas. Phones not in his name because he's not dumb. Already had to get new phones. And then had that draft phone. When they gave out Shedeur Sanders' phone number, they didn't know that was a draft phone. That's how Shedeur could pinpoint it back to them. Best believe Shedeur knows who knows where he lives, who he gave that address to. And I'm thinking HR got his real address. I don't know if he gave the police his real address when he got that ticket. I think he handed him a license, and people said he still got his Mississippi license. Because if not, they got it from the DMV. That's how all the other guys get hit up too. But those dudes are not pros. It's giving copycat amateur trying to slide in on a trend. Shedeur will be playing with a vengeance against the Raiders, on top of him being fueled to do well because of the last game. He wants to Tom Brady too. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's interesting. It said this happened to Watson. What happened to Watson? Let us know, Lynn. It says security system should have alerted door was unlocked. Yeah, I'm not sure that that's really the case. I don't believe everything I heard in a police report today, because instead of asking about why he will be targeted, they quickly said, for one, they told us where he lived at, which was crazy. I thought that was strange, because you want to protect him. Why would you put out he lives in Medina County in this particular township? Not everybody gonna ride over there to see the house, because that's what people do. Oh, let's go where they say Shedeur got robbed. Then some people gonna try to see how easy it is to get in the house, even though he gone, because they don't believe it. That's just what people do. That's the internet, right? So, put it this way. He knew when they prank called him that he had only given that number to certain people. I'm willing to bet he knows exactly who knows where he live at. And that might be why he moved. He ain't gonna say nothing though. That's one thing about it. Sometimes I think they need to say more and stop keeping so much to themselves. You need to tell people what the hell is going on, because we can help, believe me. It's that everything they are doing is obvious, right? Because why? He's getting close to starting, and that's what they don't want. But now I'm in a pickle because my fans want him to start. So what do? I gotta throw up a distraction, a disturbance, or something. Thankfully, he moved, so he ain't got to worry about no home invasion, because that was gonna be next. Oh, they came back. And it could be different people, because it ain't like you know who it is, right? So I'm sure his credit cards are not to that address. If he went to a restaurant, they couldn't have lifted it because that ain't his address. If he still got a Mississippi license, he know he don't have stuff set up there. Could be the same thing all over again, except for this time, instead of to humiliate, this time I want to intimidate y'all. What did I say? It's just some cross-burning type clan-like racism. That's what people don't understand. I want to run you off. They used to run Black people out of town, told them they got to be out by midnight and stole their damn land. And the ones that didn't leave, they buried. And that's facts. Clan-like racism. Cleveland is 42% white. Maybe it's some little suburban kids around the corner, and they just up and decided to go walk through an open door with some masks and some gloves and some Balenciaga shoes, and was in the house for 12 minutes and only took material stuff and left the jewelry. But no, in the second half is the point. That's just as accurate as the prank caller from Ole Miss that they lied about, that they refused to identify because they know he connected to the GM in New York. That's just as pinpoint accurate as him knowing when to call Shedeur. How did he know Shedeur wasn't going to the Saints? And they really tried to say, oh, that happened to everybody. They did the same thing. Oh, that's them kids. No, it wasn't. Then they lied and said it was the Falcons, and it wasn't. They lied and they lied and they lied and they lied. And even though they lied and got busted, the NFL got Shedeur Sanders' phone number to 2,000 people who did not need to know, including the equipment managers. And to show you how vile Cleveland is, who did they have Shedeur throwing with? The equipment managers. And there was a waiver wire attached. So they were trying to cut him. Do you know how ugly that is? To know that the prank was NFL, that they lied about it. You take and lift from the prank and do exactly what the prank said. Have him throw into equipment managers because there was a waiver wire attached and the equipment managers got the email. So I have you throw into equipment managers because we finna cut you. And y'all think this couldn't be them. That was some pinpoint accuracy right there. The second half? No. Shedeur need a real loud alarm that set things off and alert authorities. Yeah, but it's going to take them time to come. The problem is he absolutely has to have a physical body person at the house who is trained to shoot, drag in the house, or maim or whatever. He has to have security. And I ain't talking about a rent-a-cop that sit in the car and play on their phone. No, he has to have somebody that's on the lookout. Because understand, people don't. Well, damn, if they got away with it, let's go see what we could get. Yeah, that's why he moved. They'll be back or somebody else will. But going through his nightstands, what were they looking for? Watson hasn't been the same. No, he gonna never be the same. The commissioner could be because he damn sure had the commissioner knew he could predict the future, huh? It said, not pros or organized crime. This is close quarters, nasty work. Yeah. Salute. How you doing, Charlie X? It says Shedeur might have proof of collusion. What are they looking for? I don't know what you're looking for in people's nightstands. I don't know. I don't know why you in their nightstands, because if you start a video, you start a jewelry in the closet, but you didn't take that. You knew where the clothes were. If I want to come in off that video, I'm going straight to that closet. But I probably, if I random, I'm checking all the rooms. What did they say? They ransacked his bedroom. They were looking for something. And then they just took this stuff because they didn't take the jewelry. Why would you don't have to ransack a bedroom to rob clothes and jewelry that's in the closet? That's like when they find people who are deceased and they still have their wallet, their ID, their keys, and their money. They like, oh, okay, so you weren't really robbed. This happened for another reason. Ransacked his bedroom. That's personal. They was trying to let him know they were there while he was on the field playing. That's the message. Burglars don't do that at all. They just come in quick, get what they want, and go. They don't linger. They don't leave a message. They try to leave without a trace. It's like they were trying to tell him. That's sad. They trying to wreck his mental. That's all it is. Good night, good night, good night. It said they are NFL pros. It said, look at the strange things happening to all the football players. They sure did. Yep. It said, plus someone was saying CP was rushed to the, and that wasn't true, Pamela, right? That wasn't true. The commissioner said, it's not you that I'm worried about. It's your father. Clock that T. Yep. He said, I'm worried about your father. That's what I remember, right? All right. So we're going to get out of here. This was crazy. Lindsay said he needed whatever. It said, yup, and AK-47. Did they take that? Because nobody said he took that. Did they leave that behind too? Because they said it was one in the closet on the floor. I didn't see it. I just saw a bunch of shoes. Did they say they took shoes? I didn't hear shoes. I heard clothes. So if you didn't take his jewelry and you didn't take his shoes, maybe because they identifiable. Because Shedeur got a lot of custom shoes from Nike. And his jewelry is custom. So I would know who it is. Those bags, they're going to be able to identify those bags if they live in the Cleveland area. Because they ain't got it like that. Cleveland is not like that. I know they got people that got it, but it's not like that. You could do the research, the demographics, the average medium household income. It's not like that. And it is 42% Black. So another nugget for you. All right. We're going to get out of here. This is crazy. I got some well-off media to go watch. We'll see y'all tomorrow. This is absurd. As this young man get closer and closer to start, it look like they're trying to wreck his mental, right? But right now, it's giving just like they slid in on a trend doing the draft with the phone call and lied about it, which means you see what they're capable of. And the Browns tried to exploit it by having him throw to the equipment managers. It seems like it's the same thing all over again. But this time, instead of trying to humiliate him, which they could be, maybe they were looking for a flash drive. I don't know, but they was looking for something. It could be humiliating, or they could be trying to intimidate him so he'll just quit. Make his life hard as hell, wreck his mental so he don't do well the next time he plays, or that he just quits. Because that's what happened to Jonathan Martin. He actually quit. So, all right, this is y'all keep Shedeur in your prayers. Just keep Shedeur in your prayers. All right. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. We'll be back tomorrow, probably during the day. Turn on your notifications. We're on a Shedeur Sanders watch. If I get any kind of news, I'll post some things in the community. And if it's real breaking news, I'm going live. Don't care what time it is. All right. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. Have a good night.